Good afternoon, everyone. Coach Joe Holloway and Michael Mullenix here for hopefully, normally it's a good day to play two. If you're a Freed-Hardeman fan, Michael, it's a good day to play one.
And that's right. And from that saying coming from a former Cubs player, that'll be the first time I have to disagree with a Cubs player, Coach.
I'm with you. It's an excellent day to play. Just one, and we win this first one, and we are headed to Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I believe you said Bethel has already advanced.
That is right. They advanced, I believe, yesterday. Took the series 2-0 against Cumberland. Both games were one-run games, and Bethel will be advancing, and they are undecided who they will play yet. That all depends on the games today. Of course, you have Freed-Hardeman leading the series 1-0. Then you have Georgetown leading Martin Methodist in the series 1-0. Lindsey Wilson and Shawnee State are tied now at 1, so today's a win or go home game for them. And then you have Thomas More leading the series against Campbellsville 1-0. And of course, Freed-Hardeman, if we win, we have that sort of first round bye with that 16 bracket in the Mid-South Conference tournament.
And, of course, the Cumberlands out of Kentucky, not to be confused with Cumberlands of Tennessee that got eliminated today. They have the overall number 1 seed. If we win, and we do have to win, but we are the 2 seed if we win today.
That is right.
And we've got to win 1 out of 2, but I know all Freed-Hardeman fans and Coach Estes would love to win it in the first game. And, of course, we're going to send our young freshman, but he's good, Colton Hunt, on the mound. And I believe Finelli is going to go for them, and we will pick up the stats and things for them as we're checking information coming across from different tournament sites right now. Actually starting to get scores from all over the country, softball scores up there right now. Our lady softball team advanced, but their tournament will be at Cumberland, Kentucky. And Josh Sears keeps adding to his total, 19 home runs for this year. But we had a lot of people that had good games yesterday, that first inning especially. Michael, do you agree with one of the keys is for us to shut down Pikeville in that first inning and then jump on them offensively hard?
That is right, and that is what helped us with the win yesterday. We saw first at bat, Zach Sanders just drills one right over the left center field fence, and that really got the momentum going for Freed-Hardeman. Everything just clicked right after that, and that's what we need here today.
And, of course, they've already started our lineups, and you can see when we give you a shot from time to time of the field, still watering the infield down a little bit. Players do most of the groundwork on it, and with the coaches, it's a sharing effort. Everybody does that when you play at home. And, Michael, tell you what we need to do, probably need to give the starting lineups. We're going to let you handle the starting lineups for both teams. We'll give you Pikeville's batting order first, as I believe we're supposed to be the home team today. You know, sometimes in these tournaments they will reverse the second game.
I believe they do sometimes, but we will try to figure that out as soon as we can. For Pikeville, you have batting first Noah Helton. Pikeville's lineup a little bit different than yesterday. Noah Helton will be playing right field, and in center field, batting second will be Tyler Freeze. Tyler Maynard will be back in the number 3 spot, batting in second base, or playing second base, and we have just found out that Freed-Hardeman will be the home team. Batting cleanup will be Braxton Ratliff and playing third base. Batting fifth is Eduardo Bello. He will be at first base, batting fifth. Batting sixth is Cameron Marucci, in addition to the lineup. He will be the DH for today's game. Then you have DeMarco Miller, the left fielder, and DeMarco will be batting seventh, and batting eighth will be Zach Hill, the catcher, and batting ninth will be Jared Kirkman at shortstop. And then on the mound today they have Colin Finelli, and we'll bring you a pitcher lineup duel here in just a little bit. And then for Freed-Hardeman, same exact lineup as far as the batters go. You have Zach Sanders batting first, Will McCall batting second. Sanders is at second, McCall's at third. Sears batting third at first base. And then you have the unpredictable hitter, Bo Simpson, behind the plate batting cleanup. And then you have Vaughn Watson will be DHing for today's game, batting fifth. And then at batting sixth, the Secretary of Defense, Don Pisano, and Don will be in center field. Then you have Christian Busby batting seventh in left field. Riley Perks coming down from Canada to play right field and batting eighth. And then you have the Marine himself, Dylan Lott, playing shortstop. And then on the mound we have the hometown kid, Colton Hunt.
And I want to say hello to his grandmother. I'm sure she's here. I came up early enough, hadn't got to see any more people. But Jan Asbel, she's Jan Kaufman now in marriage, but people remember her from the area. But she played at Jackson Southside along with Lorette Deaton and Jody Parrish, and they had a great team coached by Wayne Jones. And understand we'll be releasing some signees for both basketballs, and sounds like both Coach Stutz and Coach Epperson have had a great signing period, bringing in some fine athletes. Of course, down on the field, you see the meeting of the coaches. And, of course, our fine coach, Jonathan Estes, down there that has done such a great job, has experience in the minor leagues. He was in the St. Louis Cardinals farm system. And the one and only Ray Pack has walked in, and that is an addition today. We'll have to find out from him how the T-ball game, though, went before the day's over last night. I hope he made the T-ball game. Good, he did make it. But we're hoping to play only one, though, one today. That's the magic number. And his wife has said if they don't win in the first, he must come home because he has to. And she is a wonderful lady, and he needs to take her out on a date tonight. And she is. Now, if you miss Ray that way, either here at the ball game or out in public tonight, you can catch him at his church tomorrow. And like I told you yesterday, I like the term because Ray, even when he tells you what you need to do right, what you might be doing wrong, he brings you the good news, and that's the right thing. They have a 6 a.m. That I did not know about. Now, that's it. Starting back tomorrow, the 6 a.m. service, things are starting to normalize again, and and it's good. And you need to put your Sunday best on and go to church at least one time. I know some of us, we dress down just a hair going to church, and that's okay. But you know what? One time, put your Sunday best on and show up. And, of course, Freed-Hardeman, we have wonderful classes. I'm looking forward to next year's lecture series and stuff starting again. And, yes, sports people even come to the lecture series. And it's a great thing. These young people go to chapel and get instruction. And Freed-Hardeman, a wonderful place to be. The meeting has broke up down there. Of course, you know, like we said, Coach Estes spent some time in the Cardinals chain system. He has been the American Conference Coach of the Year, and I guarantee you they've switched to the Mid-South Conference this year, and he'll win it here. We wound up being runner-up just by the skin of our teeth, a game or two here. And, again, if we didn't look like a mash unit, we would probably even have a better record than we did. And you know we played the number one team tooth and toenail. We did that game for 4 innings. Unfortunately, in the 5th, the bottom fell out.
That's right. And Tennessee Wesleyan, it was a great game for Tyler Duskin. Came in and was able to hold them there for the first 4 innings. Unfortunately, Tennessee Wesleyan, the great batting team that they are, they were just able to get the bats rolling.
Absolutely. And some people that help Coach Estes. He, of course, is the head coach, but Will Wallace, Jess Trask, Cody McSwain, and Slater Springman definitely work there. And if I'm leaving somebody out, Michael, help me with that.
I think BJ Vincent.
Yeah,
also
DJ. Forgot about DJ. And it's a wonderful staff. You've heard the kids with the interviews. The kids love each other. They love their team. They love their coaches. They play well together, and they have had fun this year, even with the injuries. And we look for, of course, Von Watson's back, but he did receive a Purple Heart yesterday as he got hit again with a pitch, which I was talking to his brother a little bit last night out in the parking lot, and he's proud of his brother. Of course, his brother was a great track athlete, and Dom, a lot of people forget he played football. Von did, and, of course, in the outfield, we've got 3 as good outfielders as there are. English teachers forgive that grammar there. That was bad grammar. Gooder. Very good outfielders. Busby can take one. He can go over the fence and get one and take a home run away. Pisano's got speed in the glove and flashes of the leather with the strong arm. Riley Perks can go get them. And the ace in the hole is Hunter Beecham can come in at any time. He can provide you with some offense. He can definitely go get them. And very strong, a great infield. And, of course, Bo Simpson calls his own game. People forget about that sometimes. Now, this team that we are playing, they are capable of hitting the baseball. I see their coach made some changes in their lineup, but don't put them down. It's a young team. They have nothing to lose coming into today's game. If you let them get out and jump out on top or play even for a couple innings, it will be even. Let's go to the public address announcer on our parabolic mic.
In right field, number 23, Riley. Number 4, Don Gonzalo. In left field, number 10, Christian Busby. At first base, number 34, Josh Shields. At second base, number 2, Zach Sanders. At shortstop, number 1, Dylan Rock. At third base, number 28, Will Strong. Behind the plate, number 18, Cole Simpson. On the mound, number 16, Colt Hunt.
And you see the defensive starters for the Freed-Hardeman team. We'll be having the national anthem in just a moment, brought to you on the Freed-Hardeman
Ladies and
Sports
gentlemen,
Network
we would
by
like to
Worthy
rise
Road
from our
Studios.
hats and join us as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And a beautiful day to play just one, even though there is a possibility of a second game. And you just need one to go to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Remind everybody that you can see this game live streamed either on Freed-Hardeman's Facebook site or on their Stretch site. It will be archived tonight on Worthy Road Studios site, and you can dial that in and get that on your internet. If you miss it, you got time to call 5 people. Everybody out there in our listening, call 5 people and tell them they can either get the game live or you can see it tonight, hopefully with a big victory that sends us on. And, of course, for the Bears of Pikeville, their head coach, Jim Pitt, who's doing a very good job building his team. It's a young team. He's building it from the ground up. They play at Johnny LeMaster Field, but we are at Carnes Field, which I believe will change names next year when they put the AstroTurf in here. They're going to AstroTurf the baseball field here. The work may start Monday or Tuesday. That is a flash right there. And, I just wonder if they're letting you have pieces of the grass here from this field after the game and stuff. I don't think they are. Don't come out here and cut it up. Their batting average leader is Freeze. He's hitting .370. RBI leader with 37 is Maynard. Freeze has the most stolen bases at 12. And, of course, the young man we saw yesterday, Fernandez, had the best pitching statistics as far as a starting pitcher, and this is not Fernandez going for them today, is it?
It is not. It's going to be Colin Finelli, and Colin Finelli this season has only appeared in 12 games, I believe. Has appeared in 12 games, has a 2-6 record with a 10.46 ERA out of 8 games started, and out of 47 and a third inning pitch, he's allowed 67 hits, 55 earned runs, 3 home runs out of 249 batters faced with a batting average on his opponents of .319.
And let's meet Colton Hunt wearing number 16 up close and personal. He bats right, throws right-handed. You won't see him hit today. His parents are Chris and Allison Hunt. His hometown is Pinson, Tennessee. He is a product of Chester County High School. His head coach was Mike Goff, and obviously baseball is his favorite sport.
That is right. And just some stats on Colton. Has a 6.00 ERA with a 3-3 record out of 10 games played, 7 of them started. And out of 36 innings pitched, he's allowed 33 hits, 24 earned runs, and out of 170 total batters faced, he has a batting average on his opponents of .234.
And stepping in to lead off is Noah Helton for them. He's the right fielder, and he fouls the first one back. And we had problems with Helton yesterday. He had 2 doubles against us. And this young man can run, gets on base pretty well.
And I believe he was the only run scored yesterday.
They did. We did have an 11-1 win, 1 win away from advancing in this tournament. Hunt's got his sign. Pushes off the mound, and mighty good pitch, but a little low, so it's a 1-1 count. They are loaded, Pikeville, with freshmen and sophomores. They do have some juniors and seniors, but we've got our freshman pitcher going. The 1-1 pitch, hit on the ground, foul. And now here's one to either tempt him with, or let's see if Colton wants to use his curveball in this situation. And only 2 guys braving the sun, it looks like right now, sitting on the bullpen bench down there for them. Our guys love the sun.
We do. And going back to we'll go talk about this after the pitch.
The 1-2 pitch on the way. Oh, it got him. It had to. Yeah, pull that trigger on that man. And Ray noticed that we'll notice I have a little habit of calling the pitch a little early because cannot get used to the new mechanics, Ray. Ray says he can't. We'll let you hear Ray Pack here in a little bit. Of course, Michael always does a couple of innings, and we'll let Ray sit in on some of those so you get to hear all the good voices down here. Number 2 hitter Tyler Freeze up here, the center fielder, covers a lot of territory, carries a good contact bat. And again, I don't know. Not going to be a very wide strike zone for what it's looking like now. I know it was inside, but to me that was squeezing it a little bit. I think Ray and Michael agree with me. I am opinionative about calls, having been a catcher and a pitcher at one time, both. The 1-ball pitch on the way. Swinging strike. And I'm going to tell you what, there's some good velocity. And, Ray, I know what we all need to get for softball and baseball next year. We need a radar gun. Yeah, and of course y'all can't hear Ray. He hadn't got a headset on. That one, a defense bunt. He defended himself from getting hit.
That's all right.
And
going back to the game yesterday, that game by Alex Huey, the 13 strikeouts that he had set a new personal record for him, Coach.
Wow, that's great. Alex, a great pitcher. Remember for that duel. The 1-2 pitch, Hunt's ready and comes to the plate with it. And, boy, that one dusted him back, and even dust flew out of the catcher's mitt then. You got to love it. 2-2 pitch. And the one good thing about the pitchers here at Freed-Hardeman, they are not afraid to throw inside. And they will do it if you toe too close to that line, chalk line. And this young man, Freeze, is pretty close. Fouled it off. It'll be out of play. And we've already gone through enough baseballs that Mr. Wilson is supplying us with some new baseballs. And actually, that's not Mr. Wilson running out there. Wilson makes these baseballs.
And couldn't tell who that was running out there.
No, without the number, got their warm-up jacket. I'd love to know how tight these balls are wound if they're like Major League. Hunt's pitch just missing. Bob Euchre now would be standing on his head if he was calling the game. I'm going to be a little more professional and say interesting call. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Tyler Freeze up there. Hunt pitching to Bo Simpson, the catcher. The pitch. Pull that trigger, Mr. Umpire. Thank you, sir. And I'm not sure that Mr. Freeze liked that call. but I thought it was excellent. It was right there. Tough place to hit a ball, Michael.
That's right, and that's 2 strikeouts by Pikeville where they've just been standing there looking. So
Yeah.
great job by Hunt, really getting to where the umpire is going to call the strikes right there.
And here's the throw from third, and he's safe, got by. The throw from Will McCall came up the line, pulled Sears off. He tried to make a swipe at him, and Maynard is safe. And they're going to score that one an error, E5, and that's what you don't want to do. When we got in trouble yesterday, there would be 2 outs, and then we would make some play, either error or we'd be a little late making play, and it got us in small trouble. Thank goodness we provided 11 runs in that contest. They only got 1 out of it. So now Hunt has to pitch out of the stretch with Ratliff at the plate. This is Braxton Ratliff. You saw him pitch a little bit yesterday. He'll be playing third base today. Here's the throw. And Bo Simpson, he doesn't mind. He comes out of there and throws it down there strong. Bo from Ripley, Tennessee. Product of Jackson State Community College and that fine baseball program at Ripley. Ripley lost their basketball coach, Lonnie Starks. He's coming back to the Madison County system. He'll be at Liberty Tech this year. Colton Hunt, the pride of Chester County, on the mound. Curveball, yes, for strike 2. And this is a man they want to get because Braxton Ratliff is multi-talented. Not only can he pitch, he can hit. Plays a good third base.
And not only Ratliff, they have a lot of players that can play both pitcher and a position spot in the field.
Well, Jim Pitts is building a ball club. Here's a smash to the shortstop. Lot to Sanders, and that'll end the inning. There were no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base at the end of a half inning of play. It's Pikeville nothing. Freed-Hardeman coming to bat. You're on the FHU Sports Network.
Casey Realtors has been serving families in Chester County since June of 1967, when Tommy Casey, owner and broker, started the business in an office on North Church Street in Henderson. Craig Casey joined the business as an affiliate broker and began serving his hometown in December 1979. Though the staff and services have grown over the past 50 years, one thing has remained the same. Casey Realtors has remained committed to improving Chester County through professional service and community involvement.
Chase Animal Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital which performs well and sick patient exams, hospitalization, surgery, boarding, doggy daycare, and grooming. We are located in Huntsville, Alabama, the Rocket City. We can take care of all dogs and cats as well as some livestock animals. Our current veterinarians on staff are Kevin Crabb, Zach Knight, Elizabeth Harville, and Wesley Clendenin. Visit our website at chaseanimalhospital.com or check us out on Facebook. We look forward to taking care of all your pet's needs.
And back ready for the bottom of the first. Colin Finelli on the mound for Pikeville. And, Michael, a couple of quick facts about Finelli.
Well, Finelli, like we said earlier, his ERA is not the best at 10.46, 2-6 record over 12 games played, 8 of them started.
Zach Sanders, the second baseman, stepping in. He led off the contest with a home run yesterday, and that's the way to do it. Get in there, and what was it, about the second or third pitch that he hit over the left field fence?
It was very early
in the count.
bat.
Yeah. Here's the first pitch. Sanders takes this one, getting his eye on it. It's a ball, and they don't know whether the first base umpire haven't gotten a good look at his face, and I wish I had my glasses for that. And here's another ball inside. The back of his head during the national anthem looked like Coach Terry Clement that coaches, but he umpires SEC, Mid-South. Very good umpire and referee. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It is a strike. Sanders, Paul is sharper than attack today. We'll add something to his pay envelope. And 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Sanders leading off. They throw the curve, and that one didn't break a whole lot. It spun a whole lot, but it didn't go anywhere. Michael, did you ever throw a curve that just spun and went nowhere?
Yeah, I believe that was my fastball.
Oh, that was your fastball. Okay. 3-1 to count. They're playing him straight away, infield at normal depth. Here's the pitch, and that one's inside, and Zach Sanders, who is capable of running, is trotting down to first, leaves his shin brace. And this shows you what kind of team you got. You got everybody from Bo Simpson to Josh Sears on occasion comes out, gets bats. Those are starters. They don't necessarily have to do that. I think they have a little order where the guy that's in the dugout hole, not out on deck, will come and get it. But still, everybody pitches in. Runner at first with no outs. The hitter is Will McCall, the third baseman from Columbia Academy. They throw the curve, and it is outside. Now, at times, if he was throwing it a little harder, I'd say he's trying to throw a slider. It seems to be a little bit in between for Finelli, and I'm going to lean towards the curveball. Sanders with a good lead. That one is high, and he's thrown 6 straight balls.
That's right, and that's very unusual here.
It really is, and we'll take them, though. It's very imperative to get out to a good start on this young team of Pikeville because they are competitors. And there's a strike. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Our number 2 man, and Will had a couple of big singles in that game yesterday. Good to see him back. We fake the run, foul this one. Well, it's actually going to stay in play and not go to foul territory. Right fielder drifts over and gets it, and that's Helton for the first out, F9.
Now batting, number 34, Josh.
And now here comes the power hitter, Coach.
19 home runs now, got 1 yesterday. He is capable. This is a young man that never sees a good pitch unless the base is loaded, and we've even done a game where they went ahead and pitched him so badly they walked him and walked in a run this year. But he's got Sanders at first. They tried the curveball on him yesterday, got a couple of strikes on him, and they're driving Sanders back. But they threw the curve once too often, and that curve, I understand that it cut a path in the trees out there, and they're still looking for that baseball.
Yeah, don't believe they were able to find that one yesterday.
Yeah. And he drilled that one. He also had one that we almost had to patch the wall. It was drilled so hard it tried to get through the wall. And he does not get cheated usually on his swings. Every once in a while the curveball will, but he can make you pay. And this one is up. It's up. It's back. It's back. It is back. And you know what I'm going to say? We need a new baseball. Goodbye. Mr. Wilson, go to the rack and get some more. Number 20 on the year. And this is the start that we needed.
That's right. Just like yesterday, we're started off with a home run, Coach.
Josh Sears on a tear. I know he was batting coming into yesterday's game 380. We'll check to see what he's batting for this year or this game. 383.
383. And now here comes the unpredictable hitter, Coach Bo Simpson.
Yeah, one of your favorite hitters on the team.
And one of my favorites.
And we've got several, but Bo, and he calls his own game. We'll remind people that a lot of trust put in him by the coaching staff.
That's right. That's one thing that's made Freed-Hardeman baseball so successful this year, Coach.
And Bo delivers, as we like to joke from the old commercial and say, Bo knows baseball, and he just drilled one up the middle for a base hit. We'll have a courtesy runner coming in. Vaughn Watson advances to the plate, the man that owns a Purple Heart now.
That's right. And the courtesy runner, just like everyone thought it will be, Desjardins Kimbrough.
Kimbrough is the speed merchant. He can run. Senior outfielder. Looks like the pitching coach out already because we've drilled this young man pretty good. Even though Will McCall flew out, if he could have not uppercut quite so much, that one could have gone to right field. Would have been very easy. Sanders scored, and then, of course, Sears scores. Sears now has 2 RBIs, and we hope the first of many more. And you can hear some of the good conversations. I've heard some good ones on our parabolic mic from time to time. You can also hear the umpire get the raspberries from time to time on the parabolic mic. But it's part, hey, the major leagues have those mics too. Von Watson, the DH up there. Didn't have a hit yesterday, but he did score twice, and he gets on base.
That's right. His on-base percentage, I believe, is high, Coach.
There's no way. That's right. Umpire says he did not swing.
Sometimes you at least got to try to convince the umpire, though. But don't believe he was convinced on that one.
Yeah, my Spanish teacher in high school used to say, "No way, Jose," because my name is Joe or Joseph. Healthy cut, but no contact there. Evens the count at 1-1. There's one out in the inning. A very speedy runner in Kimbrough on first base. And we did some outstanding base running yesterday, too. The pitch, big hopper. They'll never get two, may not get one. They choose the fielder's choice, and I'm going to get some help. I know you can't hear Ray. I am tempted to call that one a hit because I don't think they would have ever thrown anybody out.
And
I'm going to call it a hit, and they should. I agree with the scorekeeper. But that's not because Coach Joe says so. That's because the scorekeeper says so. Dom Pisano, the Minister of Defense, comes up there. He's playing center field today. And they changed it to an error, didn't they? Here's a swinging strike one with two runners on. Pisano also capable of reaching the fences this year. A very good hitter, but he also can spray the ball. And we've seen one of his home runs go over the left field fence, I believe.
Believe so. We saw two that went over the fence that day, Coach.
And Don seems to be a little ahead of the pitches right now, and he's in a hole 0-2. Of course, the DAC stats coming from the dugout today.
See Taylor Hodges down there.
Yeah. Taylor's there, and then we've got a young man, he didn't give me a name, who is also working on it. Say hey to Jeremy. Hope he's getting well. I understand it's an Achilles injury he has.
I believe it hurt it during intramurals during the postseason.
0-2 pitch just reaches out. They'll try to get two, but you will not get the speedy Pisano. So fielder's choice. You got runners at first and third. There are two outs in the inning. That one went third to second. And a young man that is capable, he's trying to still get back in top-notch form because before he got hurt, he was playing some good baseball, but he's had a lot of injuries this year.
That's right.
At one time, it only appeared in 10 games, and I think streaks up to about 7. We'll check the stats on that. Christian Busby, we are stealing, and you can stand up on that one. Catcher did not feel the ball properly anyway. He was trying to come up and throw. The pitch was low. So now two runners in scoring position. Jonathan Estes at third. The coach would love nothing than to wave that arm around and motion folks going home. Be running at the crack of the bat. Fellini's pitch outside for ball 2 in the Drama Bills.
And Finelli, not sure what his pitch count is at right now. I believe 18, if I'm not mistaken.
It looks like it's 18 on it. Maybe 19. They may be a pitch behind. And 3-0. Do you green light Christian Busby? You folks play the coach at home. Jonathan Estes has a ton of experience, and whatever he tells me, I'm going to believe him. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Finelli pitching out of the stretch with runners at second and third. Outfield straight away. Here's the pitch. Walked him, and the bases are loaded. Busby does his job. You know, you've got the speedy Pisano at second, possibly even speedier Kimbrough at third base. And he's got speed. Busby is the slowest man on the bases right now, and he can run. And this brings up the left-handed hitting Riley Perks, who's raised his average up quite a bit. He's hitting .296.
And still don't see any action going on in the Pikeville bullpen, Coach.
They'll go at least a full inning. Remember yesterday they went a full inning with the pitcher and then changed, but This young man, remember, they used a lot of pitchers yesterday.
I believe 5 pitchers, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that is correct. 1 ball, no strikes. Finelli kicks, fires. That one is outside.
And I believe that's close to 22, 23 pitches now.
Yeah, and you got to adjust to the umpire style. That's what pitchers, some of them don't realize. And I thought Colton made an adjustment in the first inning. He wasn't getting his normal right on the edge of the plate pitch. Swinging strike, and I tell you what, Riley Perks had a healthy cut. And you're talking grand slam home run if he makes connection with that swing.
That's right.
Just a tap of the bat and a base hit is all we need. Of course, an error, wild pitch, and a pass ball can all score that speedy runner Kimbrough from third. The 2-1 pitch on the way. High, 3-1. How much are you betting on the number 1 down Main Street fastball coming? Although, if you got a lot of courage and guts, you throw the curveball right here. But normally the pitch that's called is the fastball right here. Pitching out of the stretch is Finelli. Here's the pitch. And strike 2, so we get to have our first merry-go-round of the day. This one will be a full ride merry-go-round. Everybody has purchased their ticket. 3 runners on. It'll be 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And as the pitcher comes to the plate, the runners will take off like somebody's chasing them. Riley Perks here with the bat, trying to protect that plate. A walk gets a run in, and now too much time. Pitcher steps back. Riley asks for time. A lot of action in a baseball game. Just sometimes, I know somebody said, they sent me a text, Coach, the game moves slow, but we enjoyed it. But that's baseball. 3-2 pitch. Just about ready. Here goes, the runner's running. Here it's drilled down the line and foul, though. Oh, man, it looked like one of the slices off my golf club. I was ready to run my track meet here. Batons were going to be passed out by Jonathan Estes down at third base. Either that or this looked like one of those 880 runs where the runner at first has got to catch up with the other 2 guys. But we had the speed. I'm not so sure that one wouldn't have scored all 3. Christian Busby ready to run it first. We'll do the 3-2 again. The runner's off. The pitch is on the way, and this one is fouled off down the third base side and out of play. We get to do it again.
And I hadn't heard any car horns just yet, so I think that might be safe.
Just as long as it's not the sound of the glass. And at Pringles Park, formerly, or the place, they used to play that glass crunching sound. Well, you ought to see the people in the stands cringe at the ballpark of Jackson. 3-2 pitch ready to come again here in just a second. Out of the stretch, comes to the belt. Finelli to the plate, runners running, it's low, and we're going to get the 3rd run in by walk. And yes, Riley Perks does get the job done. And coming to the plate, even though he may hit in the 9th place, a very dangerous young man, Dylan Lott, the Marine shortstop. And he went to Officers Candidate School and has a degree from Freed-Hardeman. Outstanding young fellow. His interview, go back, you can see these interviews. They're posted at the end of games on Worthy Road Studios outside for ball 1. And every ball builds the drama in this game even more. The drama is so great that there's people looking for chewing gum to chew on just to keep the tension down. 3 runs in for Freed-Hardeman, 3 hits. We lead, and we're just in the bottom of the 1st. Finelli's pitch to the plate, plunked him. And yes, when I say plunked him, that means it hit him. That will also drive a run in. Sano will touch the plate. Busby moves to 3rd, Perks to 2nd. Dylan Lott. That didn't even phase the Marine. They don't even need the ethyl chloride spray. He's so tough it didn't hurt at all.
And it messes up our scorebook right now.
Yeah, my scorebook now is a giant mess, and yours, I think, is the same one like mine, only a different brand.
That's right.
And it kind of messes it up, but we don't care. This one fouled off. It was a high chopper. And wow, who is that with the speed running after that foul ball?
That might be Austin Steele, if I'm not mistaken.
The man of steel after, hey, able to leap tall buildings with a single bound. That was exciting just watching him go. That may be the highlight so far of the game. No, Sears' home run is. That was good. This one high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sanders led the game off with a walk. He's already scored. Colin Finelli still in some 2-out trouble here, trailing 4-0. Here's the pitch. Sanders, it's up in the air. It's back. It's back. It got out of here. Home run, grand slam for Zach Sanders. 2 home runs in 2 days, and what a start. I get to put GS in the scorebook, meaning grand slam.
And like you said earlier, this is what we needed. We needed to jump out early and get up on the board, and so that we can finish this game here. Right now it's 8-0, I believe. 8-0. You only need 10 by the 7th inning, Coach.
Yeah, that's right. You know, on the moon, you can high jump 36 feet if you can high jump 6 feet here. We're approaching moon high jump status. This is better than the start. Even Coach Estes probably didn't imagine this start. Yeah. Wow.
And I think they're already changing.
Oh, yes. They had a young man heat up very quickly down in the bullpen. And we'll, as soon as we can get a good look at his numbers, I know it's one of their pitchers in the 20s. And he warms up a little bit like Jacob Sawyer. And if you have to come in quick like he is, throwing that first one, just stepping up and throwing as hard as you can, it looks like 27.
Trying to get there. I know there's a lineup over there.
And it looks like 27. He only gets 8 warm-up pitches, which brings him in. But the bases are at least clean. And Finelli responsible for those 8 runs, done with only 4 hits.
And this is Jeremy Polito. And no, the PA announcer was asking me a second ago who this was. And this will be Jeremy Polito, the right-handed pitcher from the junior from Pomona, California, last coming from Chaffee Community College.
And he probably doesn't know Don Pisano, but both of them from California for our team and theirs. So on in relief is Polito. At least he picks up the bases clean infield. Pikeville already trailing 8-0 to the Lions as the Lions get out quickly in the top of the first, and we seem very focused right now.
That's right.
This one is going to be popped up. McCall, the second baseman, Maynard calling everybody off. He takes it. But a big inning, 8 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error. And at the end of 1 inning of play, Freed-Hardeman leads 8-0 over Pikeville. We'll be back on the FHU Sports Network.
Residential or commercial, you can rely on West 10 Fence for complete fencing services. We put over 50 years of experience to work for you building, mending, and maintaining fences and gates. From chain link and barbed wire to wooden, vinyl, ornamental iron, and beautiful wrought iron, whether you want a fence for beauty, privacy, or security, we've got you covered. Just call and ask for a free estimate.
If you want to invest in cabinetry and need a locally owned and operated company you can trust, choose Kitchens by Design. In business since 2002, our locally owned and operated company has a track record of providing precision work. Serving both residential and commercial clients, we're your one-stop shop providing quality work for all types of projects, including kitchens, bathrooms, additions, new construction, and more. For more information on how we can service your needs, contact us today.
I love seeing that Kitchens by Design ad, Kitchens by Design in Medina, Tennessee. And, of course, you'll see one of my favorite ones. I love animals anyway, and they have a cat. Now, my cat is supposed to be watching, but until he hears Ray's voice, he probably won't listen too well. And he does love him. And, hey, Gizmo, if you are listening. Coming to the plate will be Eduardo Bello, the fine first baseman for Pikeville. Hits left-handed, has that back foot really tight towards line, slightly open stance. They play him straight away. Here's Hunt's pitch. Takes a little off of the curve and gets it in there.
And remember, if Freed-Hardeman does win this game, they will advance on to the Mid-South Conference final 6 teams in the tournament.
And this one, a ball, of course, one of the highlights or favorite memories so far in his Freed-Hardeman career is his first collegiate win at Shawnee State. And that's great for a young man. We hope to have him around several years. Has a good fastball, which would make him a prospect. He can break the curve off on occasion, and that his pitching will get better each year, just like Jacob Sawyer's did. Oh, mighty fine pitch right there.
That was a great pitch right there.
Now you can tell I watched the Beverly Hillbillies before I came down here to say mighty fine. And kind of colorful today. I'm rared up. I want to bat. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch from Hunt on the way. That one is way inside. Hunt working him to see if he goes away from him or jams him back on the fist. Sometimes you like to pitch left-handed hitters low and inside, really keep it inside on those knees. Here's Hunt's pitch, and he put the mustard on it, but it runs the count to 3-2. Now, yesterday, one of the secrets for Alex was he did not have many counts when he was behind. I think he only had 4 that he got behind in all day, and that is especially important for a pitcher. The 3-2 pitch with no outs to Bello, swinging strike 3, and that's a very fine pitch. And our man Colton Hunt, the fine young right-hander, wow.
And now that's strikeout number 3, and now that brings up Cameron Marucci, who we didn't see much of yesterday.
I believe we saw him in that first series when we had him. And this young man, I think he flew out, but he tattooed one in that series too. And he just tattooed a foul ball. Big, strong hitter.
And I believe that one did get over to the parking lot.
Bello had come in hitting 284. Surprising thing, as strong as he is, Bello had no home runs the previous hitter. And Marucci is only hitting 141, but does have 2 home runs. There's one drilled to Will McCall. Crow hop step, throws, Sears pulled off the bag, and that will be another, that'll be the second error of that one. And he looked like he had good, but you saw the release point. It was way high. And so 2 errors on the day, and we don't want to get our pitcher in trouble with an 8-run lead. That's the thing. Now you're hoping to induce the double play, but Miller, a very good hitter, and he runs well. DeMarco Miller, the left fielder.
Which I do believe that injury suffered by McCall in the middle of the season, I believe that still could be affecting him right now.
It could be, and his hand was in on the injury. Here's one, a curveball fouled off to the right side. Jim Pitts, the head coach of Pikeville, does a great job, just like our staff led by Jonathan Estes. What a great job he's done all these years. Played in the World Series, been coach of the year, and he always has great assistant coaches too. The 0-1 pitch coming inside. And that's one of those that'll take the dust off or any bugs on the front of your jersey. 1-1 the count, 1 out, 1 runner on. Infield's at double play depth. Sears holding the runner on at first. That one is low into the dirt. And Bo Simpson, a great job. What a fine catcher. We've got some good young catchers coming on, but you're going to miss Bo's experience. And he is so good at calling. He calls every game. Coach Estes then will give him some advice or some stuff from time to time, but Coach Estes echoed that yesterday that Bo calls it himself. And a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Got to make the Speedy Miller do something. It's going to be tough to double this young man up unless somebody hits a shot.
That's right. Right now, just anything would help.
Marucci at first, and he looks like a guy that could break up a double play. The 2-2 pitch. Did it get him? And they say it did. Now we got 2 runners on and only 1 out. Zach Hill, and Hill, a very fine young catcher. Yesterday, he got worked over his pitching staff, threw a lot of balls in the dirt and outside, and he's got a cannon for the arm. Had 1 hit yesterday. And very smart by Zach Sanders. Go in and talk to your young pitcher. Bases on balls and errors are the enemy of a pitcher. The double play is the pitcher's best friend.
That is right.
Hunt comes to the plate. They're bunting. It's up in the air. And that time, that is one, it's tough on the catchers. And somebody out, especially the pitcher, must yell almost like you're yelling bloody murder to let the catcher know where it is. And if the parabolic mic doesn't hear anything, that means we didn't yell loud enough.
That's right. And, of course, Bo could have got that, but, of course, didn't know where it was.
Oh, he's got the speed to get that one. Finding a bunt like that is the toughest thing to do. 1 strike pitch, bunts off, and now it's 2 strikes. And I'm probably going to bring my best curveball right now and make sure that it bends and breaks. Actually, bending is breaking, but we're going to break something off. But it's not going to be close enough for the hitter if I can control where I throw it. The 0-2 pitch with 2 runners on and 1 out. Hunt comes to the plate, and he did. That one had to, and yeah. Mr. Umpire says strike 3. There's 2 outs in the inning. And that brings up their fine shortstop, Jared Kirkman, who has a cannon for an arm.
And now that's 4 strikeouts on the day by Hunt. 3 of the 4 strikeouts have been strikeouts looking.
And Kirkman went 0 for 3 yesterday. Made good contact, though, his first 2 times at the plate. Struck out his last time at the plate. Strikeout would be nice, but we'll take any kind of out right here. And a strike. Colton Hunt, the freshman, is very sharp right now. Looking good. 8-0 the lead. 8 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. We're only in the top of the second because we took a little time playing swatter in the bottom half of the inning. And a good pitch and also some good framing by Bo Simpson then. You be the judge at home. We're all smiling up here. It's a no ball, 2 strike count with 2 outs. Runners will go with the crack of the bat. Infield at normal depth. They can play for 1 here. Here's the pitch, and it's high. And Colton even spun all the way around. Looked like he did a pirouette if you're into ballet. And right now, I'd say I know his parents are here, are usually here. I did not get to see his parents today. They're always here. His grandmothers are usually here, so I'm sure they're very proud. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, 2 outs. Hunt checks the runner at second. Comes to the plate. It's a ground ball. Sanders and Lott's going to handle it. I thought he might go to second. Well, goes to Sears at first for the 3rd out. And even though there were 2 runners on, there were no runs scored. There was an error. And we are going to the bottom of the second with Freed-Hardeman leading 8-0.
My name is Clay Leonard. I preach for the Church of Christ in Paris, Kentucky, and I'm a student in the Graduate School of Theology at Freed-Hardeman. I think the quality of scholarship at Freed-Hardeman, as well as the camaraderie that is shared between the students and the professors, sets Freed-Hardeman apart. I'm already using my degree in so many ways as I preach, and I hope that it will continue to challenge me to be the best student that I can and the best preacher that I can.
We are back, and the big man with 20 home runs now. I would have loved to have seen Josh Sears come to the plate with somebody on because they have to pitch him a little more carefully. Now they'll try to pitch around him, but he'll be facing Paleto here in the bottom of the second. First pitch, that one a strike on the outside corner. And you could almost tell that Josh was not going to swing at that one. He was checking the pitcher out on that one. He's hitting .387 with 20 home runs right now. The pitch, and there we go, as the fine young catcher, Zach Hill, gets worked over again by another one of those low pitches. And, Ray, you missed – that young man took a beating yesterday. And I probably, if you got a Diet Coke, I will fill mine up over here. The wonderful man tries to take great care of us. Our great athletic director, Mike McCutcheon, helping everybody out. And that one, the old 55-foot curveball. Unfortunately, the plate is 60 feet 6 inches from the pitching rubber. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. No outs in the inning. Josh Sears, who had a home run his last time up, kind of got this thing started, and we had 8 in the first. We'd like to put 8 more up right now. That one is high, goes to 3-1, and I guarantee you, Michael, you and Ray and Paul are welcome to disagree with me. This young man, if he wants it, he's got the green light.
I'm definitely going to agree with you right there. Coach Estes has provided enough trust in Sears that he can basically swing whenever he wants.
They got him to bite at that curveball as it broke outside. Look at the big man run, and guess what? An infield hit for the speedy Josh Sears. That might even make me put him on my track team to throw the discus in the shot.
I'm going to ask him after the game, is he planning on going to, for the Olympics and next go-around?
I'm going to tell you what now. Say what you want to. He runs as hard as anybody in this area. I'm not talking about just on this thing. He runs hard. And that brings up Bo Simpson, who had a single and scored his time up in the first inning. Sears takes the lead. Now, Sears has 2 stolen bases this year. And it wasn't on first and third situations either. The curveball stays a little inside. Simpson didn't want it, didn't like it. He didn't swing at it. The coaching staff with a little encouragement. 1 ball, no strikes, a runner at first, no outs. Bo Simpson, who also has home run power, at the plate.
And they're closing that gap in between second and short tightly, of course, looking for the double play as well. But Bo Simpson, last at bat, drove it just right up where the second and shortstop is right now.
Yeah. He's got 7 home runs, hitting .346. This one's going to be sky high out towards right field. Drifting. Will it go foul? And it is foul. Second baseman made a good effort but didn't quite get there. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Bo will probably try to level out, not completely level, but take a little off of his uppercut because to drive the baseball, you've got to have some uppercut. And if you drop that back shoulder too much, then you pop it up. And he's good at adjusting when he's at the plate. The senior from Ripley, Tennessee, wants to start his own trucking company. He has a degree from here at Freed-Hardeman. Also wants to ranch some too.
And, of course, we've called him all season the unpredictable hitter. You don't know what he can do in this situation, Coach.
Oh, he can hit it anywhere, and If he sees one he likes, he now has a 3-1 count. Again, a hitter's count. Got the hard, we'll call him the hard running Josh Sears at first base. And I love seeing him beat that one out. All out effort by the big man. That one is high, and they walked him, and so that'll put runners on first and second. We should see Kimbrough again, and I believe that is he advancing up, gets his helmet, and the speedy Kimbrough is on first. You know, at one time, the Oakland Athletics had a guy named Herb Washington that did nothing but pinch run in the major leagues. He never had an at-bat his short, I think, 3-year or 2.5-year major league career. He was a track star at Michigan State, to the best of my knowledge. One of Charles O. Finley's, you know, Charles O. wanted to play with orange baseballs, too, at one time. We're in the bottom of the second with 2 runners on, no score, no outs. And the hitter is Vaughn Watson. They took a little off. Vaughn out in front of that. Vaughn singled his last time up. Fine young man from Potts Camp, Mississippi. Was pretty good. He could have played football at a lot of schools. Went to David Lipscomb originally.
And I think Lipscomb does not have a football team, so
no.
Unfortunately could not do that up there.
Now that one, high chopper goes foul, fielded by the third baseman. Now their high school has a pretty good football team. Matter of fact, they played for the state title in 2A football last year in the large classification. And they have a pretty good coach up there. We'll tell you a little bit about him later. Former NFL quarterback is their head coach. Now, no ball, 2-strike pitch to Watson with 2 runners on. Sears at second. Kimbrough at first. Kimbrough getting off that base pretty good. Swinging strike 3. The curveball got him.
And although we don't have football here at Freed-Hardeman, biggest thing we do have is intramural football. That's about as close as you can get to it, Coach.
Hey, we don't play rugby here, do we?
We do have a rugby team. I'm not sure if that will continue next year or not, but that's just one thing we'll have to.
That's usually a club team, though, instead of a competitive full sport team. Rugby. It's a tough sport. I tried it one time, and I said, no, thank you. I played the season out, but after that, you will never see me play. It's a great game. I enjoy watching it. Pisano up there, and he swings and misses. Strike 1. All we need is a base hit, although now Sears may be held up at third unless it gets into one of the power alleys.
Oh, you could expect him to steal maybe sometime here.
If they had a right-handed hitter up here, right now it'd be really tough for Josh to steal because left-handed hitter, you can throw to third a lot better. But you notice a catcher has to throw over the top of a right-handed hitter when somebody tries to steal third. Left-handed hitter, you don't have to do that. It's the help for the catcher. Sano has a 1-1 count with 1 out. Runners on first and second. Polito, the pitcher, Jeremy Polito, he's on in relief for Pikeville. Comes to the plate with it. Up in the air. This one is going to possibly draw rain on a sunny day. Sears will return to second, and there'll be 2 outs. And it'll be all up to Christian Busby to keep this inning going. Now, if you take some of the air out of that one, it might still be traveling. But if a frog had a hip pocket, he'd tote a gun, carry credit cards, and have money, too. 2 outs in the inning. Polito working himself out of a little jam that his predecessor couldn't work out of in the first inning. Finelli was responsible for all 8 runs. But Christian Busby up there, he walked his last time up. He scored. And he tells the runner at second to hold up as it's ball 1. I haven't seen many frogs with credit cards either.
Don't believe I have, Coach.
We're just in the bottom of the second. The Lions with 8 big runs up there on 5 hits. 2 errors have been committed by the team. And there's a pickoff, and that is a big honor for them to attempt to pick off Josh Sears. That shows he is a dangerous runner. I don't think the second baseman got the sign, though. That was a called pickoff because you can see the pitcher kind of hold up and kind of lob it down there because where's my man covering? The pitch swinging, and we're swinging through a few pitches right now. We're not seeing them. 1-1 the count with 2 outs, and we'll make adjustments and get some advice when we come to the dugout.
And definitely a big thing you have to watch out for with Sears. Out of 2 stolen base attempts, he has 2 stolen bases, Coach.
That's right, 2 for 2.
100%.
He's our leader percentage-wise, and we can steal bases, folks. Josh moving around down there. This one hit up in the air. It's probably going to hang up too long. It's not going to be deep enough for a home run. Center fielder drifts over into right center and takes it. Driven a long way, but just a big noisy out for the 3rd out of the inning. There was no runs. There was 1 hit, 2 men left on base. And at the end of 2 innings of play, Freed-Hardeman 8 and Pikeville nothing. Let's take a timeout on the Freed-Hardeman Network.
Casey Realtors has been serving families in Chester County since June of 1967, when Tommy Casey, owner and broker, started the business in an office on North Church Street in Henderson. Craig Casey joined the business as an affiliate broker and began serving his hometown in December 1979. Though the staff and services have grown over the past 50 years, one thing has remained the same. Casey Realtors has remained committed to improving Chester County through professional service and community involvement.
Chase Animal Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital which performs well and sick patient exams, hospitalization, surgery, boarding, doggy daycare, and grooming. We are located in Huntsville, Alabama, the Rocket City. We can take care of all dogs and cats as well as some livestock animals. Our current veterinarians on staff are Kevin Crabb, Zach Knight, Elizabeth Harville, and Wesley Clendenin. Visit our website at chaseanimalhospital.com or check us out on Facebook. We look forward to taking care of all your pet's needs.
Residential or commercial, you can rely on West 10 Fence for complete fencing services. We put over 50 years of experience to work for you building, mending, and maintaining fences and gates.
And we are back here ready for Noah Helton, the leadoff hitter who struck out his first time to step in there. 8-0 after 2 innings. And need to add to that, you got to have a 10-run lead at the end of 7 to – there's one. That's a base hit. And this young man hit the ball well at times yesterday, too.
And I believe that's only the first hit allowed by Hunt on the day.
It is. So bringing up the second hitter, Tyler Freeze, who struck out his first time. Of course, Helton struck out his first time. He had the timing on that one pretty good. Drilled it to left field. He's also a very good base runner. Colton Hunt will have to pitch out of the stretch.
And, of course, Freeze, one of Hunt's strikeout victims today, one of the 4, I believe.
This one up in the air, but Busby gets on his horse, but it's in foul territory enough that he can't get to it, so it'll be just a long strike.
And still no action going on in the Freed bullpen. I believe just some throwing down there, but nothing of at least warm-up wise, nothing right now.
They'll keep somebody loose, and of course, looks like Polito will stay for Pikeville. And at the plate, it took a little while on the exchange and coming back. Tyler Freeze, the center fielder. He's 0 for 1 today with a 1-strike count. Hunt will pitch out of the stretch with Helton at first. That one is outside. And I'm sure Colton feels like I overthrew that one just a little bit. Held it a little long. 1-1 count. Fine young freshman pitcher here. Worked himself out of trouble in the last inning. And a good pitch right there. 1 ball, 2 strike count now. In the 4th inning, and Paul, very good. Every other inning, Paul and I are switching, getting the parabolic mic on. In the 4th inning, we'll have a very special treat for you, Michael Molnix, and we will get Ray in here to do a little baseball. Right now, 1-2 pitch in the dirt, bounces, comes in front of Bo, and the runner will advance to second. And that one was definitely in the dirt. Now runner at second with no outs in the inning. Sears will return to normal position from holding on. We'll take the double play off. Now Zach Sanders will be the one in charge of playing games with the runner and holding him on. So if you're going to hit one, the hole between first and second will be the biggest hole in the infield. Here's the pitch, trying to reach out and take one to right field, keeping the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Instead of right field, I believe that one is at the intramural field.
Yes, it did go and probably headed a long way coming off the end of the bat. So we'll do the 2-2 pitch again. Hunt comes set to the belt, checks the runner to the plate, inside, and Tyler Freeze tried to get him one then. I don't think it hit it. Now, it did take that big, nasty mosquito off of the glove, but it didn't hit the glove. 8-0 the score. Hunt will try the 3-2 pitch. Again, you see him check that runner. Coming to the plate with it and hanging tough and fouling that one off is Tyler Freeze. He's done a good job.
Thought he had him right there. Almost had me. I thought it was. I keep forgetting that net's right there, Coach.
Yeah, I saw you. Now, I jumped once yesterday, though, at the softball field because there was one lined up for my nose coming that way, and that didn't thrill me a whole lot. Great 2 games, though, down there yesterday. 3-2 pitch by Hunt will be done again. It's on the way, and this time he did hit him. So runners at first and second. No outs in the inning. Here comes a supply of baseballs as it looks like the umpire was down to about 1. It's also a nice break in the game. And the senior catcher, Bo Simpson, does a smart thing. He walks out to talk to his young freshman who has all kinds of talent. Sometimes freshmen do get themselves in a little bit of trouble pitching wherever. But this is a tough young man, Colton Hunt, on the mound.
And Colton Hunt, only a freshman, and you got to think, it's already one of the main starters here for Freed-Hardeman. He's only going to get better as he progresses here at Freed-Hardeman, Coach.
If he doesn't have a professional career, he's going to get his degree. He wants to be a federal, not a state, but a federal game warden. Nice young man, too. He knows how to handle things. And the fake to second base, you don't have to throw it there. No balk attempt. At least, and thank goodness, nobody in the stands hollered balk like they do sometimes. Of course, that's usually the opposition's fans holler stuff like that. At the plate, Tyler Maynard, the second baseman, he was on by error the last time up. Here's the pitch. Beat into the ground, foul to the third base side. And so Hunt gets a new baseball.
Hunt could really use an out right here. No outs with 2 on.
Strikeout would be nice. He's got Ratliff, a good hitter, coming up behind here. This one is hit into center field. They'll line it up. He'll step into it, and you don't want to run on Pisano. Look at this throw. It would have been like Reverend Voigtman, the old umpire that did college ball and local ball in Jackson, used to say, "You would be a dead duck, son." And he would bounce that finger right in your face as he would call you out. Reverend Bourne, we don't have colorful umpires like that anymore. They have good umpires, but not colorful ones.
I don't remember the last time I've seen a colorful umpire, Coach.
Well, you got to keep your mechanics straight. And the National Federation, the NAIA, the NCAA, and all of them, they have a certain way they want you to do things. And that's good. It makes it, because sometimes if you got too colorful as umpire, it annoyed people. Curveball broke a little bit. I thought it wasn't going to break for a minute. And a very good hitter wearing number 10, Braxton Ratliff, who we saw pitch yesterday but playing third base today. He has 1 home run on the year. Now, with him pitching and doing all things, his average is not as high as it could be, but he's got a fair on-base percentage of .225, and you see the strike there. 1-1 the count. 1 out. The biggest thing to keep an eye on right now is there are 2 runners on. Colton Hunt would love to keep his shutout intact. We're in the top of the third. 1-1 pitch, kind of half liner, and it gets by and is going to get away, and we're going to call that a base hit. It almost has to be. There's no way you can call that an error. That one kind of died on Sanders on Lott a little quicker than we thought it would. The bad news is the bases are loaded, and you have a young man who is capable of losing a baseball at the plate.
Still waiting to see if it's a hit or an error or not.
It is a hit.
I believe that one just a bit outside, I believe, wouldn't.
Yep. You are right, Michael. We'll get this scored properly over here. I had it right, and they did agree with me. They now have 2 hits. We need the double play badly right here. And missing, sometimes right-handers, even though you think they should be able to, they have a little trouble throwing those left-handed hitters, and you wind up your release, you'll let it release outside a little bit. Hitters count, 2 balls, no strikes. Let's see if Pikeville turns this young man loose. He could cut the lead in half with 1 swing. And missing 3-0. You don't want to walk a run in. Bello hitting .281 with 11 RBIs, on base percentage of .375. And I would say this is probably going to be the fastball down Main Street. Bello foot in there very tight, and it is a strike.
Nice pitch there by Colton Hunt.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it again, would you?
I would not be surprised, Coach.
So a 3-1 pitch with the bases loaded and only 1 out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Is it fast enough for 2? It won't be. You'll get 1, and a run will score.
They called him safe at second.
Interesting call. Bello on with the fielder's choice. Very interesting call. So there's still, there's just 1 out. Scoreboard has 2, but there's only 1 out because they left the runner on. They said they didn't stay there. Marucci up there. And Marucci, it's kind of feast or famine for him on the season. He either hits the home run or gets out. I mean, he has some other hits, but he's only hitting .138, but he has a couple of long balls and 11 RBIs, and he is a very strong hitter. The pitch high, so it evens the count at 1-1. And the call at second may have been the proper call, but it's still tough on a young freshman right-hander. Outfield straight away, infield at double play depth. And that one fouled off. And Marucci stops and then starts again on the running. Now, I don't think in some fields I've seen balls spin like that and come back on the field. That one wasn't coming back. This field is a nice surface.
That's right.
They keep it manicured pretty good. We'll have AstroTurf, though, next year.
That's right.
You heard Coach Jonathan Estes tell you about it in the post-game interview. If you missed those on Worthy Road Studios and the Freed-Hardeman Network, shame on you. You can go back, though, and catch them on Worthy Road's YouTube page. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped up, out of play. And I tell you what, I like Will McCall's effort, though. He was coming, trying to beat up on the Dan Kirkland Wells clubhouse, but it is protected. There's a force field around it.
And I believe it almost got an umbrella over there, I believe, trying to stay in the shade over there.
Yeah, I don't think umbrellas have any force fields. And we're teasing about the force fields. We've seen the building hit. The 1-2 pitch again. He had him wanting to go, but it's now 2-2. Dangerous territory. This is a key pitch right here. You don't want to run it to 3-2. I know there's only one out, and they probably would not be running in with the pitch because you definitely don't want to run into a strike them out, throw them out, or tag out situation. But here's a key pitch, and it's hit up in the air to left field. Will it hang up? No, it's going to get out of play. Great catch down in the bullpen down there, but it's out of play.
And I have to find out who that is here in just a little bit.
Now, I know something we don't want to do. You do not want to put one up in Marucci's eyes and shoulder level. This young man, like I said, is capable, and he will lose it for you. 2-2 pitch again, and again, this is the one Colton Hunt wants. He does not want to run it to 3-2. Kicks, comes to the plate, and we'll do it again. That one was still up a little bit. Let's see if Colton brings the ball about knee level, low and inside, or maybe breaks a curve off low. Can't throw the curveball high, though. Well, he can, but you don't want to throw it there. That's a better way of phrasing it. 2-2 the count, one out. Bases jammed. The Ducks are on the pond. Hunt's 2-2 pitch on the way. Fouled off again. And Marucci must be working for the Wilson Baseball Company, trying to use up baseball, so we have to buy some more. Trust me, there's plenty of fresh white apples in the dugout over there. No, not the kind that you eat either. 2-2 pitch one more time coming from Colton Hunt. And it got him, and that'll walk a run in. The curveball was there, but it was high and hit him in the upper shoulder. So Marucci picks up the RBI that way. And now they have eaten into our lead. It's only a 6-run lead. And it looks like Coach Estes is going to come out and have a talk with his young freshman. I don't know that anybody is heated up quick enough to come in.
Which this is only the first mound visit for Colton Hunt, so they don't have to take him out.
No,
yet.
They don't have to take him out. There'll be some action in there. I know one guy that can heat up very quickly, and that's Tyler Duskin. Now, I don't know if he'll be the one to get up, but he can get warm in a hurry. Brings a unique style on with his left-handed pitching, and it is a switch from what the umpire's going to go out and give a friendly reminder. Now, the umpire last night took a little more time before he gave his friendly reminder. Of course, I always like it when the coaches make the umpire walk all the way out there and then starts breaking right before he says something.
And I believe we got Jack Christian warming up out there. So
okay, the right-hander. Okay, DeMarco Miller, who with only one out, is a tough man to double up. And he'll be followed by Zach Hill. One out, the base is still jammed. A swinging strike. And I tell you what, when Colton loses his hat, he usually is throwing a strike.
Wonder if we can start keeping a stat next season over hat falls off or something.
Hat falls off, strikes. No ball, one strike pitch. Really could use the strikeout here. Strike two. And I got it before the umpire did. A good signal, though, by the umpire. Doing a good job down there. No balls, two strikes, one out. Now, the question is, sometimes you want to play with him and tease him a little bit. He may go after him. He's thrown a lot of pitches. Here's Hunt's pitch. It was high. Hat went off that time, but it was high and stayed high. Release point was not where he wanted it. One ball, two strike count. 8-2 your score. 2 runs in on 2 hits for the Pikeville team. The sacks are jammed. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. 2 outs in the inning. Now need to get Zach Hill here.
And now that's strikeout number 5 today for Hunt. And now with Zach Hill coming up, he was one of the earlier strikeout victims. Got him looking in the second. So hopefully get him another strikeout right here, Coach.
Yeah, you're right. Hill, the tough young catcher. And that one high, and again the release point. And you saw Colton kind of throw his arm out after because he knew he released that one too high. Puts him in the hole though. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs, and ducks on the pond. The pitch fouled off for strike 2, and that one though was a little high, and hitters like those high pitches. And again, we'll remind you in the 4th, you're going to have a treat. Michael Molnix will be doing play-by-play. Ray Pack will be his color man, and you'll enjoy that, as Ray is our voice of the Lady Lions softball. Does a great job with volleyball too. The 1-1 pitch, high and inside, and it is definitely the release point. And we'll need to check where the foot is coming down. Placement of that front foot is also very important. If you ever saw the great pitchers like Tom Seavers, you see the leg drive and everything pointing right straight at home plate. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The sack's jammed. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off again, back into the screen. And as far as the count and the outs, the deuces are wild. The sacks are jammed with nobody to put this young hitter, Zach Hill. Hill hitting .235 on the season. Hasn't had a lot of at-bats. That one was high. It was actually supposed to look like it's supposed to have been a fastball. It was a curve because you look at the spin on it. It did not break. 3-2, 2 outs. The merry-go-round will start for Pikeville this time. Let's see if Hunt brings the number 1 pitch in there. Runners moving with the pitch, and it's fouled off, and we get to do it again. I'm sure the Wilson Baseball Company is very happy with this game, as they will sell a lot. We won't have to use any more of our baseballs after today, though. Hopefully a trip with a win in this first game, or if we have to play a second game, a win in it, will take us to Bowling Green, Kentucky. The women traveling. Here's the pitch. Pull the trigger. He got him. 3 outs. But they scored 2 big runs, and now the score at the end of 2 1/2 innings of play is 8-2. Freed-Hardeman coming to bat.
Residential or commercial, you can rely on West 10 Fence for complete fencing services. We put over 50 years of experience to work for you building, mending, and maintaining fences and gates. From chain link and barbed wire to wooden, vinyl, ornamental iron, and beautiful wrought iron, whether you want a fence for beauty, privacy, or security, we've got you covered. Just call and ask for a free estimate.
Coming back to the bottom of the 3rd as Pikeville put 2 on in the top of the 3rd. We got an 8 spot in the 1st inning, and that's the difference, 6 runs. Difference, we need to put some runs on the board. We'll have to score 12 runs to have that difference, so we're 4 away from the goal of getting the 10-run lead. If not, this game will go 9 innings.
That's right. And if you're Freed-Hardeman, you almost want to end this game early. Just for the simple fact that you got a double elimination tournament after this if you win, and you need all the rest that you can get for that tournament, because most likely they'll either be playing Georgetown in their first game or they'll be playing Bethel, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's when I was looking at the bracket, I believe that's how it looked.
You're right about that. And of course, I'm going to see if I can pull a little stunt I tried with my scorebook and make it right. And Riley Perks is leading off. He walked his first time up. He'll be followed by Dylan Lott. And you're right, we've got to get some runs going here. Don't want to play that 3rd game. Pikeville would love to play the 3rd game today. Fouling it off the left side, should get out of play.
And
2 pitchers are going down the bullpen, Michael.
know Jack Christian's still on there. Not sure who that other pitcher is down there.
Took something off of it. That's Jeremy Polito, and he's actually done a good job since he came into the ball game. He's not allowed any runs. All 8 runs belong to Fellini. 0-2 count on Riley Perks. Perks gets under that one. Let's see if it will fall. Shortstop's got a shot at it, goes after it, doesn't get it, and does a good job, though, of hustling. And so Perks has a single, and maybe we can get something going. Dylan Lott scored his first time up after being hit by a pitch.
That was off of the Zach Sanders grand slam, too, Coach.
That's right. And we had the grand slam, of course, in that first inning. Big first inning for the Lions, but need to really get back going now. Hope we didn't get a little complacent with that 8-run lead.
I sure hope not. Which Freed-Hardeman is able to get the bats rolling at any time that they can. And that one, Dylan Lott almost getting his Purple Heart right there, Coach.
Yeah, and of course, Von Watson's been hit so many times this year. He and Sears get hit a lot. People will try to throw him inside, but Von probably leading in being hit the most. 1 ball count. Pitch driven to left field. It's going to hang up in the air, though, and the left fielder makes a great catch, Miller, and that will be 1 out.
And now that brings up Zach Sanders, who is on record 1 for 1 today. Did walk in his first appearance and now has got a home run. So already 4 RBIs on the day and just 2 at-bats.
Absolutely. Grand Slam homer, 1 for 1 officially. Hitting .313. 2 homers on the season according to the stats. That would be yesterday and today.
His first one yesterday.
Runner at first is Perks. Not a big lead. And a good pitch for a strike. Polito has done a very good job. We've left a couple of runners stranded. Threatened with second and third and couldn't get them home, but that was with 2 outs. Beautiful day to play baseball today. A lot of folks here enjoying the game, getting a little sun, getting that vitamin D, and pitcher steps off. We'll call time. Very important to get that vitamin D in this day and time, especially with COVID out there. That's one of the things they say helps keep you healthy. The 0-1 pitch, and they throw it down there. Perks was back very early. That time as good an arm as Zach Hill, and we've seen him really make some pegs to the bases, tried to throw it off his knees and really didn't get much on that one.
That's right. And yesterday he almost had 2 pickoffs, but unfortunately the second baseman and the shortstop just couldn't come up with him, or else he would have had a couple of pickoffs yesterday.
Now, yes, and he's not calling his own game. His coaches signaled the pitch into him. Here's the 1-1 pitch, driven to left field. Let's see if he gets down, and it does. It's a fair ball. Running is Riley Perks. They'll hold him up as you see Coach Jonathan Estes come up the line, and that's what a good coach does. His back will be to us, and he's giving the stop sign down there.
That's right.
A double by Zach Sanders, who is hitting the ball really well.
And now the former state champion from Columbia Academy, Columbia, Tennessee, Will McCall, like we said, former teammates with Alex Huey at Columbia Academy, now teammates here at Freed-Hardeman, and was part of that state championship team that beat Ryan Weathers out of Loretta.
Absolutely, and boy, Pikeville is serious. They're not going to give up the run for the out. They've come up to the grass. McCall, with 1 out, wants to at least get the sac fly out of this. He has flied out, and you see the first pitch for a strike. He's popped up. Now, what he'd like to do is drill a hard ground ball between either third and short or between second and first baseman. Those are the places that you want to go and feel very safe. Something in the power alleys, which he's capable of, would be nice also. The 1-0 pitch is now 0-2, strike 2. And McCall quickly into a hole, a nice curveball that time by Polito.
That's right. And of course, Will McCall has been battling injury this season with I believe he broke his thumb in this last recent injury that he had. So it's really, really great to see him back.
Seeing all these great shots from Worthy Road Studios on the multiple cameras. This one hit up in the air. It's going to go down the right field line and will fall. That was a long run, and the right fielder's only one had a chance at that one.
And that was almost a smart IQ play, because if he would have caught that, Coach, Perks was probably on his way to home plate.
Oh, yeah, he couldn't have caught it and thrown it. Even a sprint quarterback, right-hand quarterback sprinting to the right side, couldn't have thrown somebody out on that one. And saw that great shot, and you saw us retracing the steps with Paul Schultze operating this camera for the Road Studios. Gary Lockhart on the other side. Don't forget to start the fourth. You're going to get a real treat. And now stepping out, and I don't blame Will. I'd step out too. Let's do everything. Matter of fact, I might step out a second time on this pitcher. Polito, though, has done an excellent job coming on in relief. First real trouble he's had. And could be a base hit. It looks like he's going to get down. And the runners won't score but one because the runners had to be careful. First and third. The ninth run of the inning, or of the game, is in. Riley Perks scoring. And here comes something that Pikeville really doesn't want to see. And before I looked up and saw him, I thought the pitching coach might be coming. You don't want Josh Sears up there with runners on first and third with one out. Now, they have a base that they can give him, though.
That is right.
They don't have to pitch to him. It'll be interesting to see the strategy. Josh Sears, with the home runs that he has coming up to the plate. Of course, I failed to tell you, Will McCall was hitting .321 going into that at bat. And we've got some of the fine young students here while we talk about this, and they're waving at the camera. And good to see the Freed-Hardeman faithful supporting this team. Sears looks down at his coach, Jonathan Estes. Josh would like nothing better than to unload a 3-run shot. And that would put us at the 3 mark, but he'll take a base hit. Outfield is deep, infield's at double play depth. And they started out, and the ball high. They'll throw him either outside on the plate, jam him, and the curveball seems to be the way everybody pitches him. Don't make a mistake on the curveball, though. He drilled a very good curveball that broke big time yesterday for a home run. The 1-ball pitch. And it's high and outside, and here's the usual pattern, and Ray gets to see it. Y'all can't hear Ray, but Ray, they pitch to him, but they don't give him anything to hit. They're hoping that he will get anxious, and he's been pretty good. He's only bit recently at one curveball that he should have laid off of, and that's very good hitting. Josh Sears is a pro prospect. He stayed at Freed-Hardeman this year to play. He was offered. And there's the curveball, and it was so far outside that Manute Bowl, that used to play in the NBA, couldn't have reached out and got that one, and he was 7'6". 3 balls, no strikes. Runners on first and second. 1 out in the inning. I guarantee if he sees something he likes, Josh Sears will turn on it. They throw the one, but it was low, and it walked him. Great eye by Sears. Bases loaded, and Bo Simpson coming to the plate, and he has hit a grand slam. My friend Ron Pateska likes to call them grand salamis.
I believe he might have hit 2 this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I know of one because you and I witnessed that one. He may have hit a second one too, but I know of that one because it was a dandy. It was really good. Bo runs pretty well, so hopefully that, unless it's a shot, takes the double play out of order. Bases are jammed. Ducks on the pond if you prefer. Polito's pitch, drill to left field. Left fielder falls down. Unfortunate for the young man. We're going to play track meet. Look at Sears dig. They'll hold him up, but the big man was vaulting, and the other guys was streaking to the plate. And now Sears will go back now, dives in. Yeah, you got to love him. The other two gentlemen, there was no question. They were streaking like bolts of lightning, and the big man having all the fun.
Coach Estes got into that one. He dove on the ground with them. Can we give him a? I don't believe we can give him a stolen base, but we can give him an E for effort there, not for error.
E for effort and a base hit. Now you got to give Bo Simpson. There is no error, folks, on that one. None whatsoever. It's a legitimate double. And a couple of runs scored on that one. We now have 11 runs on 9 hits. Josh Sears at third. Kimbrough should be in there, and he is running. Curveball hit up in the air. Sears will tag. I believe they're going to send the big man. The right fielder feels it. He's going to try to cut the runner down going to third, and no chance it gets away. It wouldn't have gotten him anyway, and Sears has scored the 12th run of this game. Sac fly for Von Watson. Gets the RBI out of that one. And Dom Pisano, the Minister of Defense, comes to the plate with an opportunity with a runner at third to put another one on the board and do something for himself. See, his back foot edges towards the inside part of the batter's box. Slightly open stance. He can pull it. He can hit it to left field. Infield at normal depth. 2 outs. He gets under this one. It's going to, like some of my golf shots, the left fielder gets over there, catches it, and his foot was in foul territory, both of them, so it doesn't matter. It is a foul out for the 3rd out of the inning, but we put up 4 big runs, and that's what is important. At the end of 3, Freed-Hardeman 12, Pikeville 2. We're going to take a timeout and bring you our surprise.
If you want to invest in cabinetry and need a locally owned and operated company you can trust, choose Kitchens by Design. In business since 2002, our locally owned and operated company has a track record of providing precision work, serving both residential and commercial clients. We're your one-stop shop providing quality work for all types of projects, including kitchens, bathrooms, additions, new construction, and more. For more information on how we can service your needs, contact us today.
And we are back here on the Freed-Hardeman University Sports Network with a big surprise, not only on the field, but here in the press box with us, we have the voice of the Lady Lions, Mr. Ray Pack. And we actually have some updates from softball for us.
Well, we know Campbellsville got a bye into the final site. I believe Lindsey Wilson is going to be the 2 seed there. Freed-Hardeman be the 3. Bethel there. Georgetown and Cumberland's could still be the 4, but they are tied with Martin Methodist here in this game today. The payoff game, 4-4 in the bottom of the 5th.
A lot of deciding games. There's 2
that
deciding
one right
games.
there is the one that will decide it all. And if Cumberland's loses, then what they do is the 5 teams that had these first round games, they will reseed them according to finishing order regular season. So they will do that.
That's right. First pitch there is ball. Do have a new pitcher on the mound. New pitcher is Jack Christian. So that will end the day for Colton Hunt. Great first start here in his first ever postseason start. Next one in there for strike number 1.
That was a great pitch on the inside corner. Trying to back these guys off of the plate. They're crowding the plate an awful lot. I've noticed that as I've been sitting here watching.
That's right. Jack Christian, a great pinpoint pitcher. Here's the pitch. And gets him swinging for strike number 2. 1-2 count now.
And there's that inside, and then you went back outside, and as he worked him outside, he had no shot at getting a hand on that ball because he stepped back about a half a step. Doesn't take much.
That's right. Here's a pitch from Christian, and that one high for ball number 2. Christian not going to give you what you want
Well, that
any
was
of the time.
That was a breaking pitch that broke a little bit, didn't break quite as much as he wanted it to.
And here's the pitch. And gets him swinging for strike number 3.
So you look at, you talked about Colton Hunt. The line on him, he went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, had 6 strikeouts, did not walk a batter, threw 70 pitches, 45 strikes, 25 balls. That's a pretty good ratio.
And that is a really great ratio. And that was Kirkman batting. Now this is Noah Helton. And that's the first strikeout by Jack Christian. Christian from the windup. Here's the pitch. And really gets him swinging there for strike number 1.
And he's 1 for 2 on the day. If looks right,
I do have him at 1 for 2, a strikeout and a single there in the 3rd inning. Christian, here comes again. And that one's going to be popped up and try to see where that is going to.
Sears is there,
and
just out of play, in the dugout.
Very close, of course, couldn't really see the
We need to
bushes
get
there.
Coach Estes to trim those hedges there on the side over there so you can see better.
That's right. And, of course, also have the light pole in the way here. We do have some action going on in the Pikeville bullpen. We'll have to see who that is here in just a little bit. But this is Noah Helton here at the plate. He will be followed by Tyler Freeze. Here comes Christian with the pitch. And that one misses high for ball number 1. And puts the count at 1-2 now.
So, yeah, you throw that pitch to him because you're trying to get him to chase something. His coach calls it a teaser pitch, and here comes another one of them, and that one's straight back.
And that's, of course, what we say, going,
just the wrong way, right?
Way.
But you look at the way the pitching staff is working. That's the goal is to inside to outside, and then you come with that outside pitch again to try to get him to chase it. So that's the tease. That's the whole aspect. There was another foul off.
That one in play over at the newly dedicated Rousseau Intramural Field.
Yeah, I hope it didn't hit my truck.
I
always park over there. I always park at the intramural field so it comes right.
I wouldn't park over there during intramural season.
Oh, no, not during intramural season. No.
Which luckily that softball intramural season ended in the fall, and we're now in volleyball now. Here comes the pitch from Christian. Misses high for ball number 2.
He just can't get that. He's trying to get the break, and like Coach says, he's releasing it a little bit high.
Christian, of course, will get better as the game goes on. Here's the pitch. And that one lined up the middle into center field. Pisano is going to field it up, get it into Sanders. And that will go down as a single here for for Noah Helton. That's his 2nd hit on the day.
That's just one of those throw your hands at it, and if it goes through, it goes through. It wasn't an overly hard hit ball.
That's right. And Helton, of course, a really good contact hitter. Came into the game yesterday. Batting average was a little low, got a little bit lower at 311 from the last time he was here. And this is going to force Christian to go from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And misses for ball 1. Gets away from Simpson, but Simpson jumps on it quick, but Noah Helton will be at second with no throw at all.
And that'll go down as a wild pitch. It bounced right in front of the glove, and Bo did a great job trying to block it up, but it just scooted away from him.
That's right. Bo Simpson, outstanding catcher, has a lot of trust from the coaching staff here at Freed-Hardeman. Here's the pitch from Christian, and that one foul tipped off here behind us. And not hearing any car horns right now, so it looks like that's going to be steer clear of any cars.
Coach mentions that Bo, of course, calls all the pitches. Sophie Donovan calls everything at the softball field. Coach Humphrey is very comfortable with his catcher there doing that.
That's right. And he gets free swinging on that one for strike number 2.
That was a really nice pitch.
And talking about Sophie Donovan, Bo Simpson, just allowing them to call their own games. And that's the good thing about Freed-Hardeman, the trust that they have, the coaching staff, the trust that they have in their players. And that one foul tipped off and keeps the count at 1-2. And that's why Freed-Hardeman was so, I guess, successful in the American Midwest, and that's how they're becoming more successful here in the newly Mid-South Conference.
You compare the two conferences. The American Midwest was a great conference, but there were only one or two teams in each sport that you could be competitive with. Everybody else, your top three were okay, but then they fall off. In the American Midwest or the Mid-South Conference,
And that one foul tipped off to the Freed dugout.
you've got to bring it every game because from top to bottom, anyone can beat anyone.
That's right.
And, two of the series, when you talk about Cumberland's and Martin Methodist, well, we swept Martin Methodist last week at their place, and they go up to Cumberland's and take one from them in softball. So you got to be on your A game all the way through. And that was the one thing about this conference that the coaches really, I think, were maybe more concerned about was the competitive nature of how competitive it's going to be. But for me, I like it.
That's right. 2-2 pitch from Christian. And gets free swinging for strike number 3.
Nice job. Great pitch. So he gave up a first hit.
First hit.
And that breaking pitch just ate him up. Then he's got two retired 2 in a row.
That's right. And, of course, you were saying yesterday, of course, being in postseason, you start out 0-0. The regular season at that point doesn't matter at all.
And that's why I say the first inning, we were focused.
That's right. And that misses.
Just misses
for ball number 1.
Yeah, the baseball team, and I wasn't over here for the start of yesterday's game. You all were because I was finished up. But it seems to me that they have been focused at the beginning of both of these conference tournament games to start off.
That's right. That one misses high for ball 2. And 2-0 count now here for Christian with 2 outs and 1 on.
Fans like rankings, right? Fans want to be ranked in the top 25. The coach doesn't care where you're ranked. He just wants to be in that tournament.
That's right. That one in there for strike number 1. And really, rankings, all it does, to me, all rankings do is provide a lot of, not controversy, but.
Yeah, it can. But in the way the NAIA does their rankings is totally different than the NCAA or any of those. Because take our softball team, ranked 16th. They could lose in the conference tournament, but they have a high enough national ranking that if there are not a lot of other upsets in these conference tournaments, they'll qualify for the national tournament, and that's what you want as a coach.
That's right. That one swinging there by Maynard for strike number 2, and now you have a full count with 1 runner on, 2 outs. This will be a do or die here.
Let's see if he pulls the string right here.
Here's the pitch from Christian, and that one swung on, hit to Zach Sanders. And Sanders will get under it for out number 3.
Like how he pulled the string on that off-speed pitch and just kind of throw the hands and popped it up. So go ahead.
That's right. And Pikeville able to manage to get 1 hit by Noah Helton, but Jack Christian comes in, gets 2 strikeouts, and they will have no runs here. Keeps the score at 12-2 here for Freed-Hardeman. When we will be right back here again on the Freed-Hardeman University Sports Network.
My name is Clay Leonard. I preach for the Church of Christ in Paris, Kentucky, and I'm a student in the Graduate School of Theology at Freed-Hardeman. I think the quality of scholarship at Freed-Hardeman, as well as the camaraderie that is shared between the students and the professors, sets Freed-Hardeman apart. I'm already using my degree in so many ways as I preach, and I hope that it will continue to challenge me to be the best student that I can and the best preacher that I can.
And welcome back in. I'm Ray Pack. Michael Molnix is checking something. We got a new picture on the bump out there for Pikeville. Michael was looking that up, so I don't mind bringing it back in. We're a team here. I mean,
hey, that is right.
We work together. Coach Joe, yourself, and me. We all just try to work this out and do the best we can.
That is right. And the new pitcher will be Austin Wortherington. Austin, try to go back to his profile right here, is a sophomore pitcher from Paducah, Kentucky, coming from St. Mary High School there in Paducah. And this batter will be Christian Busby. And Busby on the day has scored once. He scored once after a walk and then flew out in his last at bat. We'll be looking to change that here in the bottom of the 4th inning here.
This pitcher, he's got Kentucky covered like Farm Bureau insurance from Pikeville to Paducah.
That's right.
one of the lines in that Farm Bureau commercial.
Here's the pitch. And Busby fouls that one off over to the Pikeville dugout for strike number 1.
He's a long way from home.
Long
Let's put
way
it that
from
way.
home.
He's about as far as what they had to travel to come to Freed-Hardeman from home in Paducah.
I was about
About
to say,
the same distance.
I was about to say, that's on the other side of Kentucky.
That's all the way over in the mountains.
Here's the pitch. And Busby swinging on that one again. That's going to be fouled off again.
You know, I was hoping today we might hear the fighter jets out of Millington on their training exercises. The other day they were flying all over town.
I
And it was
believe we were
scaring
saying
everybody. It may have been out there yesterday too, but just to watch them. I had to throw that out. I saw the airplanes up in the sky, you know.
And here's the pitch, and that one misses outside for ball number 1. Believe we had, and with 1-2 count, no outs. And try to pick that up here in a second. I believe we had a helicopter on campus the other day as well.
Yeah, that was the was that the Jackson PD
believe it was
unit
the-
or the
one of
state,
the
was the state troops, the state trooper helicopter in the
It's like an aviation unit.
Yeah, it was one of the police department aviation units that the director of campus security.
Right. And Busby gets that one out to left field. Looks like DeMarco Miller will be right under it, and he will be for out number 1.
You know, you watching at this game and how much different it is for me. I'm used to a 200-foot fence and being able to see the whole field at one time. And, you know, we're looking at 340, 330 on down in the alleys and everything. So you got to pick that ball up, and the white ball is a lot harder to pick up than that yellow one.
That's right. And we do have a pinch hitter up here. It's Hunter Beecham. Hunter Beecham, the former state champion out of Scotts Hill High School, but is from Lexington, Tennessee.
Well, he came up yesterday when I was here in that and had a big hit in that bottom of that inning that we ended up. I think it was the inning we walked off on.
I believe so. And
I didn't keep a book. That's your all's job on baseball. So
I believe it was sack fly.
Sack fly. It was a sack fly. Okay.
And Beecham swinging on that one for strike number 1. Starts off with the 0-1 count here. And 0-1 count. And here's the pitch. And in the dirt for ball number 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 1 runner short of a singles wild here.
Well, a while ago, Coach Joe missed a perfect one. You had 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. They had 2 hits and 2 runs.
I can't believe
Coach Joe missed all the 2s. You missed that one.
And that one misses high for ball number 2.
That's okay. That might be a thing I just do. Coach Joe likes to 3 up, 3 down, all that good stuff.
That's right. And
he was telling me a story. He was doing Jackson Christian game and one of the young men base hit.
Nice hit by Beecham into left field. Going to be fielded up by Miller. And even though Beecham is about as fast as a deer, he will be held up at first.
Yeah, Coach said, he said one of the kids came up and said, "Hey, Coach Joe, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing."
Coach Joe, probably one of the big inspirations around here.
He is. Does a great job. But he can't hear anymore. Well, I'm not going there.
And this is going to be Dylan Lott, the Marine, up to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day. He will be looking to change that here. Here's the pitch. And that one
got him in the ankle.
That one drilled him a little bit. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, but if he's a Marine, he's going to shake that off and just walk right down to the.
He's like, I can still walk, so I'll still stay in. And that's the second time he's been hit by a pitch today. We might have to give him the Purple Heart here.
Do y'all give out a Purple Heart in every game, Coach? Y'all do a.
I don't believe.
Michael, do you do a Purple Heart, or is it just on occasion?
It's just on occasion, I believe. We gave one to Von Watson yesterday. Dylan Lott, that's the second time he's been hit. So.
At least 6 times that Von Watson's been hit this year.
At least, and Josh Sears, he's right up there with him. I have to go back and look at our stats.
Oh, you got. Okay, so you all have a whole thing over here.
That's right. Here comes Zach Sanders, 2 for 2 on the day with the grand slam home run, and that one gets away from the pitcher or for the catcher, Hunter Beecham. I thought he might have going to be rounded third going home, but it looks like Coach Estes will keep him there.
You got a lot of room behind the plate here at Carnes Field, And that ball, when it hit the backstop, it kind of died instead of kick. If it would have kicked up the first base line, I believe you take that chance, especially with a 10-run lead. You want to take a chance.
That's right. And, of course, I believe this will be the last game at Carnes Field, if I'm not mistaken what I was hearing from Coach Est.
They are going to change the name. Must have found somebody.
And that one hit by Sanders in foul territory.
So it is true that the turf is coming down. Are they just doing baseball? Or are they going to is Coach Humphrey going to be happy and get softball done? Because he's been wanting that too.
We got that news from Coach Estes.
Okay. Maybe it was a baseball donor that has stepped up.
And we'll have to find out some more information.
We'll keep up with that.
Did see Coach Humphrey in the crowd earlier today.
I think he still may be down there.
And here's the pitch. And that one able to sneak in there for strike number 2.
Yeah, he's still sitting down there. He's got his son, Jared, who was in that World Series national runner-up on that team.
That's right. Now coach at Chester County.
Yeah,
he
now is
he's
assistant coach basketball and also is helping with the women's softball program.
And great to see the Humphrey family still in Chester County helping. And that one hit by Sanders in the outfield to center field. That's going to score 1, maybe 2 if Dylan Lott. And that's not even going to be close, and he will be safe. And Sanders going to second, and he is there.
Good job by Sanders reading the throw. And the catcher, if he would not have double clutched, he probably had a shot at Sanders.
That's right. And that goes down as 2 more RBIs for Sanders. That's got to be at least 6 RBIs on the day for Zach Sanders. And now that has now brought the lead to 14-2 here for Freed-Hardeman. And now we have Will McCall, another former state champion out of Columbia Academy.
That will be 6 RBIs for
It will be 6 RBIs.
DAC Stats takes a minute to update, but when it does, it'll show that.
That's right. Here comes the pitch. And that one sneaks in there for strike number 1.
We've just got 1 out here, and you're at the part of the order that can do some significant damage with Mr. Sears on deck.
That's right. And Josh Sears already got 1 home run today. Is 2 for 2. Of course, had a walk there in his last at-bat.
But he hit that shot opposite field in the first inning, part of that 8-run first.
That's right. And McCall gets on that one. That one looked like it hit off of his ankle or his knee.
It probably got off of his ankle because it was straight down. But I like how he didn't stay down long, bounced back up, said, let's go, I'm ready to go.
That's right. Really tough.
You know, if he was playing in the minor leagues or the major leagues, 15 trainers would have been out there spraying him down with that freeze.
That's right. And no action going on either bullpen still looks like.
They may be having someone head down to the Pikeville bullpen. I see the catcher with his gear headed down that way.
And here's the pitch. And McCall swings on that one, and, just foul. And that might be something I might have to go back on YouTube later tonight.
In the softball press box, we have an iPad that we keep to keep the game going. And Mr. Gerald, Tim Gerald, Britton's dad, he keeps an eye on that, and he watches the replay for us. So, because it runs about 7 to 10 seconds behind.
That's right. And McCall 0-2 count here with 1 out and 1 runner on. Here comes the pitch. And McCall gets a hold of that one to the left fielder, Miller, and looks like Sanders is going to score, and he will be there with no question. And Will McCall adds an RBI here for the Lions.
So that's 15 runs on 12 hits for the Lions. The only flaw that I've seen today is the 2 errors over on Will at third base. But like you say, he's been injured. That could be still affecting him. I don't know.
That's right. And here comes the big power hitter himself, Josh Sears, 20 home runs on the season. I believe the all-time Freed-Hardeman leader in home runs.
Well, he is the all-time leader.
And that went in there for strike
right
1.
at the knees. So they're not going to give him a whole lot to hit. They're going to dink and dink around at the strike zone, but it's going to be either outside, inside, down low. I don't think they'll throw him a high fastball though.
Don't believe so. If I were Pikeville,
You see where the catcher set up on the batter's box on the left side, and I think the pitcher may have missed a sign of where he was supposed to locate at there,
Believe
Coach.
so.
You know you're coach now, right?
I guess I'm coach now.
You're the play-by-play man. You have to be coach now.
I did used to coach a little youth league basketball back when I was still in Lewis County. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner on. The singles are wild here. And here's the pitch. And Sears gets a hold of that one.
Stay fair. No, it's going to slice foul down in the bullpen. Well, as Coach Joe said, that looks like one of his tee shots.
I
can't claim that because I don't play golf.
I believe that I will go ahead and claim that for myself as well. Of course, it never does want to go straight to either hooks or slices for me.
But you like the way that Josh Sears approaches the plate.
That's right.
Watch, he's looking for where the pitch is located. Oh, and he gets called strike 3 on the inside corner, a breaking pitch. That was a great pitch.
That was a good pitch.
He looks for the ball, though. He's looking for location, and he's going to go wherever it is. So there's 2 outs.
That's right. So 2 outs now. Bo Simpson up at the plate with 1 runner on.
Yeah, it looks like Bo's 0 for 2 for the day.
I have Bo at 2 for 2, I believe.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2. I'm sorry, hasn't scored any. Yeah, he scored some runs, hasn't he?
Yeah, scored once.
Actually, Kimbrough has scored for him.
Yeah, Kimbrough has scored for him.
So, yeah, that's why there's no runs listed for him.
And first pitch was a ball. 1-0 count here to start off.
Because they get the courtesy runner for the catcher here in college baseball.
That's right. And that one in the dirt for ball number 2. And we've like to call Bo the unpredictable hitter this season. Has been a really key factor to this Lions offense and to the Lions defense as well.
Well, there's a reason he's hitting in the 4-hole.
That's right. And here's the pitch. That one outside for ball number 3. And looks like we were going to have a pinch hitter for Vaughn Watson here in this next at bat. And that might be Neil Freeman, the transfer out of Eastern Illinois. And I have to get a good.
30,
that's who it looks like.
30-something. Or is it? Yeah, 30-something.
And that one sneaks in there for strike 1.
But a lot of people might say, why is Josh Sears hitting in the 3-hole and not in the 4-hole? There's a strategy that you want that pitcher to face him in the first inning. You want him to be at the plate in the first inning. He may be your best hitter, but you can't take anything away from Bo Simpson.
That is right.
And that's right. You have to pitch to him.
That's right.
So
and that will be ball 4.
There's your strategy there for that.
And
number
now
30.
That brings up Neil Freeman. He, again, like we said, he is a transfer out of Eastern Illinois. He is a junior this year.
And Kimbrough, as usual, checks in for Bo Simpson.
That's right. And one thing about Neil, I don't know if Coach, if you have anything on Neil Freeman or not. And
he's got it all right here.
Do know one thing about Neil. He is a big Cubs fan, I believe.
Neil doesn't have a sheet.
He does not have a sheet.
And that one misses for ball number 1.
Well, I'm going to try to get Mr. Hodges to do a page on the website that I got from a gentleman that's at New Mexico State, the Lobos. It's on their webpage. They have to fill it out on their webpage, and it automatically puts it into a spreadsheet for us, Coach. It'll be really easy. This is a good sheet, though. That's a good sheet.
1-0 count here to Freeman. Here's the pitch. That one misses outside for ball number 2.
And I guess this is the first time I've seen Freeman bat because I've only been to the end of games.
That's right. Oh, I believe he has been battling injury this season. I believe he had a wrist injury. 2-0 count here to Freeman with 2 outs and 2 on. Here's the pitch. That one misses low for ball number 3.
And you notice runners could have advanced, but they chose not to. And maybe Coach Estes kind of taking a little bit of pressure off of Pikeville.
That's right.
And I think you have to, as a head coach, feel pretty comfortable right now, but you can't get complacent.
And that is correct right there. 3-0 count. That one in there for strike number 1.
You know, that happens in pitcher's duels. You got a pitcher's duel going on, and somebody's throwing a lot of strikeouts. Your defense gets complacent because they haven't had anything hit to them, and that's why you see errors at that point in time.
And there's a 3-1 count, and that's going to be outside for ball number 4, and that will load the bases here for for Dom Pisano.
I did some PA for baseball last year, and Dom's name was always my favorite to say. Because you got to draw that S out. Pisano, make it sound like a Z.
That's right. And, of course, Mr. Ray Pack can do a lot of stuff. I believe he's, of course, does the book for the basketball games. Also does the broadcast for Chester County games, if I'm not mistaken. And that one swung on by Pisano.
Way out in front.
Gone. But, unfortunately, we cannot consider that a home run.
That looked like a beach ball to him coming into the plate. He goes for that one. I'm not too busy. I do 50 Chester County sports events. I do Freed-Hardeman, volleyball, basketball, softball. Now, you coach done drafted me to do some baseball today.
That's right. And that one popped up by Pisano to the first baseman.
Yeah,
and he bobbles that, and that's going to score 1. And
you got to get in a rundown. That run counts, but at that time, Freeman there, he should have went back towards second.
Or Kimbrough. Kimbrough probably could have gone and tried for it.
Well, but Kimbrough should have taken down, but Freeman needs to get in a rundown to allow Kimbrough to score before he's tagged out. And sorry to jump on you there.
No, you're good, Coach. And that brings us to the end of the 4th inning. 4 runs scored, and now puts the lead. Freed-Hardeman 16, Pikeville 2, and we will be back here in the 5th inning here on the Freed-Hardeman University Sports Network.
Casey Realtors has been serving families in Chester County since June of 1967, when Tommy Casey, owner and broker, started the business in an office on North Church Street in Henderson. Craig Casey joined the business as an affiliate broker and began serving his hometown in December 1979. Though the staff and services have grown over the past 50 years, one thing has remained the same. Casey Realtors has remained committed to improving Chester County through professional service and community involvement.
Chase Animal Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital which performs well and sick patient exams, hospitalization, surgery, boarding, doggy daycare, and grooming. We are located in Huntsville, Alabama, the Rocket City. We can take care of all dogs and cats as well as some livestock animals. Our current veterinarians on staff are Kevin Crabb, Zach Knight, Elizabeth Harville, and Wesley Clendenin. Visit our website at chaseanimalhospital.com or check us out on Facebook. We look forward to taking care of all your pet's needs.
And we are back here on the Freed-Hardeman University Sports Network. And they are recognizing Josh Sears.
He is the all-time home run hitter here at Freed-Hardeman.
All-time home run hitter.
He has passed some great guys, including a guy I worked with, Brian Bullard and Jim Carter. Yeah, Bullard was the leader for a long time. He coaches at Jackson Christian.
And it's truly amazing to give Sears the recognition. He is deserved, Coach.
And Will McCall has moved over to first base, and we'll have a new third baseman and shortstop combination, I believe. No, Dylan Lott will stay there. Looks like Sanders has moved from second.
And that one by Christian misses for ball number 1. And we did have an update here for the Mid-South Conference softball tournament. Martin Methodist now leads the Cumberlands of Kentucky 8-7. And that one swung on. That's going to be into the outfield and going to be fielded up by Busby. And that'll go down as the first hit of the inning here. And got to fix my scorebook here real quick.
Yeah, Braxton Ratliff hit that one. He's a pretty good hitter. Doesn't have a high average because they've pitched him a lot more this year than they have before. He's going to be a very good player for them.
That's right. And now here comes, this isn't Bello. I think this is Hauk, I believe. And Hauk, we saw him yesterday in one at bat. And we'll try to get some more information on him. And that one's swinging for strike number 2. 0-2 count here with no outs. And we got one runner on first, and the runner is Ratliff. And here's the pitch. That one misses high for ball number 1. And of course, Freed-Hardeman still has a very big lead, 16-2.
And Dalton Langford is in at second base as we see the strikeout, Michael.
And yeah, that will go down as a strikeout. And we're getting some information there on the and apparently a little mess up on the DAC stats, and it is 15-2 Freed-Hardeman. It's not 16-2, 15.
And they'll reset the scoreboard. Ray was very kind to help us with that.
That's right. And this is Cameron Marucci at first pitch in there for strike number 1.
Yeah, Marucci got hit with a pitch last time. Remember how he worked, and he fouled a ton of baseballs off.
That's right. And he's reached both times today on an error and again, the hit by pitch, and that one misses for ball number 1. 1-1 count here with one out here in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. And that one foul tipped off, but caught by Simpson. And that'll go down to strike number 2 here, Coach.
Yes, it was a good pitch, and he was going after that one.
That is right. And with a 1-2 count here with one out, here's the pitch. And that one outside for ball number 2.
Need to get this young man. There's a runner at first, as folks know.
That's right. And here's the pitch. And that one swung on by Marucci. That could be a double play ball. Gets one. And in time for out number 2. And that's a quick end to the inning here, Coach.
Absolutely.
So we get one hit with no out, or with 3 quick outs, 3 up, 3 down. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th inning with your score. And we did have correction, 16-2 here for Freed-Hardeman. And we will be right back here on the Freed-Hardeman University Sports Network.
Residential or commercial, you can rely on West 10 Fence for complete fencing services. We put over 50 years of experience to work for you building, mending, and maintaining fences and gates. From chain link and barbed wire to wooden, vinyl, ornamental iron, and beautiful wrought iron, whether you want a fence for beauty, privacy, or security, we've got you covered. Just call and ask for a free estimate.
If you want to invest in cabinetry and need a locally owned and operated company you can trust, choose Kitchens by Design. In business since 2002, our locally owned and operated company has a track record of providing precision work, serving both residential and commercial clients. We're your one-stop shop providing quality work for all types of projects, including kitchens, bathrooms, additions, new construction, and more. For more information on how we can service your needs, contact us today.
And we are back here on the Freed-Hardeman University Sports Network with a pitching change for Pikeville. Now on the plate, or at the mound, it will be the hometown player from Pikeville, Kentucky. It'll be number 19, Grayson Harris. Grayson is a freshman right-handed pitcher out of Pikeville, Kentucky. Last played at Pikeville High School. And he will be taking the mound here for the Bears. And we'll have batting. Looks like Mason Holden. Mason, one of our seniors here at Freed-Hardeman. And he has been a key player here for Freed-Hardeman this season, as well as past seasons in the last couple of years. And He'll be batting for Christian Busby. And Busby, I don't know if he will re-enter or not. That we'll just have to see when we come back in the field. And the first pitch from Harris misses outside for ball number 1.
Good to see Mason, a left-handed hitter, get some action. He throws right-handed. His parents are Todd and Dana Holden.
That's right. Not only will this be his last game in Carnesville, but this will be his last game as a Freed-Hardeman line, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe that's right. His high school coach was Todd Holden. And, of course, he played up at Milan, Tennessee.
And played for the Bulldogs up there, I believe.
Yep.
And with a 1-1 count, here comes the pitch. That one misses outside for ball number 2.
And he majors in criminal justice. That's we've got a couple of guys majoring in criminal justice.
Colton Hunt, I believe Jack Christian might be a criminal justice major, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll check on that.
2-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one swung on by Holden, but catcher drops it, but it still go down to strike number 2.
Doesn't have Jack's. He has the Bachelor of Arts degree, and he wants to become a firefighter.
I do remember that. Wants to go back to Oklahoma, I believe.
But I believe he did get into criminal justice.
That's right. 2-2 count here for Mason Holden. And here's the pitch from Harris. And that one swung on by Holden for strike number 3. And now here comes Hunter Beecham. Hunter, the former state champion out of Scotts Hill, will be looking to get a base hit right here.
I believe he singled his last time up, and, of course, a very fine player in his own right.
That's right. Hunter Beecham with 1 out here, looking to get a base hit. Here's the pitch. That one misses inside for ball number 1.
You know, he loves to hunt and outdoor activities. He's majoring in special education, and that is a very fine area to major in.
That is right. 1-0 count here for Beecham. That one curves outside for ball number 2. And looks like we might have some action going on in the bullpen for Freed-Hardeman. It looks like Rob Patterson in there, I believe.
He was up a while ago.
And Beecham swinging on that one. That could drop. Doesn't look like it will.
Kept carrying.
Out number 2. Didn't think that one was going to carry as much. Thought that might have just been a little dandy right there in the gap there.
Did you know that Hunter said he was the least flexible person on the team?
He what now?
And he says he's the least flexible person on the team. And, of course, one of his great memories was going to the World Series his freshman year.
And, of course, a lot of guys on here, former World Series players. Dylan Lott being one of them, I believe. Of course, as you said, Dylan Lott, the Marine, will be this will be his last game at Carnesville as well.
Yeah, they played Sweet Caroline a while ago earlier. Of course, he's a big Red Sox fan in baseball. Going into the Marines.
That's right. Here's the pitch. That one in there for strike number 2.
Yeah, nice bender there by the young man.
That's right. 0-2 count, 2 outs here. And Dylan Lott will be looking to protect the plate. We do have some action going on in the Pikeville bullpen. We'll have to see who that is here in a minute. Here's the pitch. That one misses low for ball number 1.
And you know his major was kinesiology. Now, that is tough. Mike McCutcheon knows what I'm talking about. Once upon a time, he and I had to take that subject a long time ago. Yeah. And the A and P had, you know, the statistics course was one of my bugaboos.
Here's the pitch. And that one in there for strike number 3.
A little surprising on that one there.
And that's going to end the 5th inning here. Lions go 3 up, 3 down, and we'll be heading to the top of the 6th here. You will be right back here on the Freed-Hardeman University Sports Network with Coach Joe Holloway.
And we are back as Rob Patterson has taken the mound for the Freed-Hardeman Lions here in the top of the sixth inning. If this score holds up, only 2 more innings to play, the sixth and the seventh.
That's right. And, of course, not sure what happens if it gets up any more than what it is right now.
No, we're not sure whether they have, like high school, the 20-run rule, but we'd still have to score 6 more runs before that would happen. We won't worry about that. But Rob Patterson throws right-handed, bats right-handed. His parents are Bob and Sherry Patterson from Cross Plains, Tennessee. His high school coach was Derek Wicks, and his favorite team, he's a good man, the Atlanta the Atlanta Braves in baseball. And he's a business marketing major, and he says he'll be working for in Indiana for a roofing supply company. And his favorite memory is his first inning back from Tommy John surgery, which he has had, and he has made a very good comeback.
That's right.
I've got one more good fact about him, too. You want to meet these young men up close and personal. He's had a mustache since he was in the 6th grade. This is on his sheet. This isn't something I dreamed up.
And we do have some defensive changes here for Freed-Hardeman. Dejard Kimbrough going into left field now for, I believe, Christian Busby. And they moved Mason Holden over to right field for Don Pisano.
And a bunch of changes.
Of course, see Dalton Langford out there. And getting an update from the softball game. And that is the final. Martin Methodist will be advancing in the softball tournament after an 8-7 win over the Cumberlands of Kentucky. So now I believe that does set the softball bracket up now, I believe.
Yep, he'll have to figure that one out. First pitch was a ball. This is DeMarco Miller, the fine left fielder for Pikeville. Second pitch is a strike. Very masterful where it was placed. Tied DeMarco up. 16-2, the Lions are leading this one. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Outfield straightaway in a little bit in center and left. The 1-1 pitch, swinging strike 2. Infield back. They're not worried about a bunt right now in the infield.
Don't believe they are.
We'll check our people out around the horn a little bit. Sanders, we know, is at third right now. McCall is playing first base, and he may take that first base position over next year with the graduation of Josh Sears.
That's right.
2-ball, 2-strike count, Michael. Patterson working out of the stretch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Lott scoops it up, shoots it over to the first. Will McCall makes a good grab, learning that first base trade, and there's one away in the inning. Got a fine young man coming in, and when Coach comes up today after the ball game to talk, Avery Bradford has been signed, one of the very good players at Jackson Christian School. And good student, got a shotgun for an arm and runs like a deer.
That's right. And the recruiting this year has been, especially for the first overall year being in the Mid-South Conference, recruiting has been very well this year.
Oh, got a great place. Great school, great academics, fun place, intramurals, everything. A great place to be is at Freed-Hardeman University. 1-ball, the count. Zach Hill up there. And looks like 1-1 now with 1 out. Hill's 0 for 2 on the day. Has struck out twice. Foul tips this one to hang tough. Young man's got a future, though, has a cannon for an arm. I just wonder, and a lot of the Pikeville players, I talked to their coach the first trip here more than I got to this time. They like to play multiple positions.
That's right. And it's good to give some of your guys some rest there, being able to play a lot of positions.
Absolutely. 2 balls, 2 strikes now with 1 out. Infield at normal depth, McCall, Langford, Lott, and Sanders. Swinging strike 3. So today, Zach Hill wears the collar for the 2nd out. Jared Kirkman, the shortstop, will come up to bat. He's 0 for 2 today. strikeout victim his last time up.
That makes the third strikeout today by Zach Hill.
Yes, he wore the collar today. Not one that he wants to wear. 2 outs, 16-2 lead, Freed-Hardeman. Here we're in the top of the 6th. Patterson's pitch hit to left field. And what an effort. Great job. You saw it. I just stayed quiet because you needed to just watch that one. Sanders laid out and got that one.
That was Dylan Lott, Coach.
Was that Dylan? Yeah, that's Dylan Lott getting that one. And Lott, amazing. Third out of the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. At the end of 5 1/2 innings of play, the Lions lead 16-2. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th.
My name is Clay Leonard. I preach for the Church of Christ in Paris, Kentucky, and I'm a student in the Graduate School of Theology at Freed-Hardeman. I think the quality of scholarship at Freed-Hardeman, as well as the camaraderie that is shared between the students and the professors, sets Freed-Hardeman apart. I'm already using my degree in so many ways as I preach, and I hope that it will continue to challenge me to be the best student that I can and the best preacher that I can.
We are back here for the bottom of the 6th. Ray was telling Michael, and I had to concentrate on this, they were having to reseed softball, correct?
That is right. Kind of like what they did for men's and women's basketball. They took the first round, and then that final 8, the quarterfinals, they reseeded them from best to last. Number 1 would play the number 8, 4, 5, 3, 6, 2, 7. And with softball, they'll do 4, 5, 3, 6, and the 1 and 2 get buys. And
right.
Freed-Hardeman, the Lady Lions will be the number 3 team, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe they're number 3 now. We know this for a fact that our men's baseball, if they win, will be number 2 in this. Leading off for the Lions, the scheduled hitter is Zach Sanders, who's now playing third base, be followed by Will McCall, who is now at first base. And we will see who is hitting in Josh Sears' spot. And on the mound is number 6, and we'll have to get him off of the roster. They have changed pitchers again for Pikeville.
Ethan Cernahouse from Bulverde, Texas. Last came from Dakota Community College.
And if you will repeat that one more time, I'll write it in.
Ethan Cernahouse. Cernohous.
Cernahouse on the mound, a right-handed pitcher. Pitches from the stretch. Submariner. We saw him. A submariner would be the correct term. He drops down and throws it. Kind of an unusual look. Sanders at the plate today, and he has had a great day, including a grand slam home run.
That's right. 3 for 3 today. Has been able to drive 6 RBIs in.
Yeah, big day for him. He's also walked in that one. Kind of chases the bugs away if there were any down there close to him. So it makes it 1 ball, 1 strike. Zach Sanders now at third base. He's versatile. We have a lot of versatile players, too, that can play different positions. Cernahouse ready to come to the plate. Drill to left field, and that probably will complete a 4 for 4 day. You know what's missing? He needed a triple for the cycle.
That's right.
Will McCall, who his last 2 times up has had singles. He's 2 for 4 today. Will McCall playing first base right now. Showed some good leather at first base a minute ago.
And do have a pinch hitter for Josh Sears up to bat next after him.
And we'll see who that is. I'm looking out of the corner of my eye and see number 12 over there. We'll have to check our roster.
I believe that's Dalton Langford.
Well, they put Dalton in at second base, and that's what they did. They inserted him in that hitting slot. There's one fouled off, so it's 1-1. Dalton Langford, and, of course, like we named off some of the great home run hitters that Josh Sears has passed over the years. And can't say enough about that young man. He was the first player interview I did down at Freed-Hardeman. There's a strike in there, 1-2 at a basketball game, though. And Ray has fixed it for you. I'll let you handle the tournament.
No, that's not right. I've got this down here for you.
Okay.
And interesting fact, of course, we interviewed Alex Huey yesterday. Ray Pack over here interviewed Catherine Crabb, and of course, mentioned yesterday they are currently dating.
Yes, they are. That was very unusual, and Catherine's such a fine player, a very nice young lady. I think they're kind of serious, aren't they? Yeah. Oh, they've been dating over a year, according to Ray. 3-2 the count with that runner on first base, Sanders, who has had a great day, 4 for 4. Wished he had gotten him a triple. That would have really made things big.
That's right. And not too sure where Catherine is from.
Catherine's from Hazel Green.
3-2 pitch on the way. And the 3-2 pitch fouled off barely down that right field line. We'll do it again. And Ray said Hazel Green is where she's from.
Where she went to school, I know. And she told me her sister will be coming next year.
That is right. Her sister is signed to play with Freed-Hardeman softball, I believe. Okay.
Wow.
Catherine says she's better than she is.
And I want to see that if she's better.
And the Lady Lions softball program is rising each year, so I wouldn't be too surprised they get in the top 10 next year.
3-2 pitch, and I tell you what, wisely, Will McCall steps out. So no outs in the inning. Sanders is at first. We'll do the 3-2 pitch again. The pitch swung on, foul tip, so we'll have one more. Cernahouse, and I tell you what, the side arming and dropping down to sub-mariner status kind of bothers you sometimes as a hitter. You have to really dig in if you're a right-handed hitter, knowing the ball can either go away from you and sometimes it will tail back into you. And of course, the major leagues have had some of those guys like that. And that one is ball 4. So a hit and now a walk in the inning. Sanders advances to second. Will McCall with a good eye. And coming to the plate should be Dalton Langford. He's playing second base. His parents are Chris and Susan Langford. He is from Granite Quarry, North Carolina.
I believe his parents are here today. I know of course, his brother attends here as a freshman this year. Doesn't play any sports except for intramurals, but he is a great
Bet he's a good student, though, too.
Great student, great intramural basketball player as well. Here's the pitch.
Yep.
Oh, well,
Langford.
I keep forgetting you're doing the play-by-play.
That's okay. Fouled it off. He's a major in social work, and he wants to attend grad school and pursue a master's degree in sports psychology, a very worthy avocation. And a fine young man also. And he does a little podcasting, so he's a broadcaster. Maybe we should have brought him up, let him do a half inning sometime. That time they said he got him, said he went around, although it probably was a strike. Says he has a podcast on Spotify that he co-hosts with Clay Wagner, the relief pitcher.
That's right. And, of course, Clay Wagner will be graduating after this year, and he will be going to be a sports one of the SIDs at Murray State after this season.
And the 2-strike pitch fouled off, and he'll have fun. There's a lot of good people up there at Murray in their sports information department to work with. Of course, our sports information department here, headed up by Taylor Hodges, our athletic director, who was a great basketball coach, but he likes that administration stuff now. He does a great job, Mike McCutcheon. Yeah, we got to get him back in and announce a little bit. He did a little color with me at a basketball game and was very good. Here's one on the line. The shortstop picks it out of the air, and we drive back safely. But he had some metal on it. I want to say wood, but we don't play with the wood bats anymore. One out in the inning. And at the plate, let's see, I'm running out of spaces on our list, and coming up to hit is number 15, and that is Nathan Lewis.
course, Nathan Lewis, one of the catchers here for Freed-Hardeman.
Yeah, another one of our fine young men. And there's a strike. You could hear the umpire on the parabolic mic quite well then, as he was demonstrative. It's a good word. I think I'll try to use that one again. Need to get me a list of good words over
That's
here.
right.
No ball, 1 strike, count, 1 out, 2 runners on. And the pitch fouled off. Nathan Lewis from Lexington, Tennessee. His coach was Carl Harkin. Likes those Cardinals. A lot of people in this area like the Cardinals and the Braves. Some people that I know like the Cubs. I like the Braves best. Here's one that's going to get down, going to right field, and Coach Estes wisely holds up the runner, and we've got the bases loaded as Lewis singles. Ducks on the pond, as my friend Ron Patessa likes to say, and advancing to the plate is Neil Freeman. Neil wearing number 30. A transfer in here, and we're going to get a pinch runner.
And Brady Harris will be the new courtesy runner.
Brady, a pretty quick young man, too.
That's right. And now, Neil Freeman, of course, we saw him earlier, I believe, walk.
Yes.
And be looking to get a base hit right here.
And let's look at Neil officially. Yes, he had a walk when he batted. This one outside it is going to get far enough away to score the run. I didn't think at first it would. Runners advance 1 base each.
And
that increases our lead to 17. And Neil Freeman at the plate. You know, in Brady Harris's case, he's from Gallatin, Tennessee. His parents are Leon and Jennifer Harris. Loves baseball and music. And he's in sports administration program here.
I believe that's one of the new programs just started up here at Freed-Hardeman.
And a strike to him, 1-1 to count. Wish they had something like that when I was in school. You could take your health, physical education, and recreation program, but you had to take everything in that. And then I was majoring in that and history at the same time, and I dreaded statistics class. This one fouled off. And let's see if it stays in play. No, it does. It goes. Good effort by the right fielder for them. And even though it was a rival university, I dreaded the statistics class, but it's harder now because Lynn Stranick, who used to coach baseball at that school, is the teacher of statistics. And, of course, we've got a lot of fine teachers. And listen to the young men when we're off-air talk. We have some excellent professors here at Freed-Hardeman.
That is right.
And Mike and I guess we're old enough to remember when Freed was a junior college. You know, that's where that side armor brings it in tough on you on the inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. There are runners now at second and third. Cruising right now at 17-2 here in the top half of the 6th inning, or bottom half, actually. Here's the pitch, inside. And sometimes when you throw like that, the tail, when it comes back at you, hurts. It takes it out of the strike zone sometimes. You almost need to start the ball out over close to the middle of the plate and then let it ride back in when you throw it that way. 3-2 the count. Runners on second and third, only 1 out. And a walk. And even though he's been on base twice, Neil officially now 0 for 0. And let's see who is striding to the plate. And this is Jahard Kimbrough, looks like. He'll be hitting in Don Pisano's place. Kimbrough blessed with great speed. Comes from Texas, I believe, right? Or is it Atlanta? I believe he's from Atlanta.
He's from Atlanta.
Yeah,
Molo's
he's from
Texas.
Atlanta. It's Mello that comes from Texas.
That one just missing for a ball there.
You're right. Atlanta, Georgia, and came here from Faulkner University.
Faulkner University.
Faulkner University. I know where that is. 1 ball count to Kimbrough. That one, interesting. Strike one. Kimbrough says very interesting too. He says, I'll dig in a little tougher. Outfield straight away for this young man, and it would be tough to play him anywhere. Any place he puts it on the ground, he's going to put stress on the defense. 1-1 pitch. Low for ball 2. The sacks are jammed. No place to put Kimbrough at the 2-1 count. Only one out. Pikeville wants the double play. We just want Kimbrough to get on. Keeps the inning going, even though there's only one out. And that means it would add to the score. That one inside. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Freed-Hardeman leading 17-2. This game a trip on the line to Bowling Green. And he'll call that one a strike, so it'll be 3-2. Will not be a merry-go-round because you could always run into a strikeout, tag-out situation. See people headed to the bullpen again. It'll be interesting to see if they bring a new pitcher on. And swung on, looked like foul tipped. Get a new baseball out there. And they may not think that he can get out of this inning. And there is only one out. The worst thing that happen is to ground into a double play. 3-2 pitch on the way. That had to have got him, and if it didn't, he walked anyway, and a run comes in. So Kimbrough on.
And we got pitching coach coming out now.
And let's see if they may. This young man has not thrown very long unless he heats up very quick. Could put a little stress on his arm, but now there are some people, you throw 5 warm-up pitches and you are ready to go. I had the fortune of playing with a young man one time on the team. His name was Johnny Ledbetter, and it didn't take him but about 6 or 7 pitches. He could throw 6 or 7 in the bullpen. He was ready to go. Sometimes he didn't even take his warm-ups when he came to the mound. He just threw. And that is highly unusual. Most people want to get the feel of that mound. Great music being played today. Man, I want to go down there and play disc jockey and let you guys do the game. Hey, you say stuff like, spinning the disc and golden platters on the wheels of steel. And you got to talk cool when you're a disc jockey. Now, 50s and 60s people know what I'm talking about. Base is still jammed. Here's the pitch. Drill down the third baseline, but foul.
Can we extend the foul lines a little bit?
Yeah, that would help just a hair. Mason Holden up there from Milan, Tennessee, the senior outfielder.
Coach Justice over there, I see joking with Brady Harris. Almost took Brady's hair off right there.
Yeah, that was one of those singers, as they say. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again for an 0-2 count. Let's see if Mason can put this one in play. Got a nice swing. 0 for 1 officially on the day. Ready for the 0-2 pitch. And they will call the strikeout there. And that brings up, should be Hunter Beecham. Hunter's in center field right now, and of course, another one of our outstanding young men. He's been in an interview before because he's had some good days that were very good to talk about. He liked going to the World Series during his freshman year also, as several of the young men did. And folks, they'd like to make another trip this year. And this is a team that has the capability, it could go a long way. They'll go in as the number 2 seed in the baseball tournament. Cumberland's out of Kentucky, your number 1 seed. But have faith, Lion fans, we can beat them. Yeah. And there's a strike, and they will get a bye in the first round up there, which is really the second round, because this is the opening round of the tournament. Coach Estes and his staff done such a good job, just like Todd Humphrey has with that softball team and the volleyball team. And another strike for strike 3. I think that caught a lot of people off guard.
I believe
that's okay. We hold the lead with 2 runs in this inning. It's up to 18-2. 18 runs, 14 hits. We've committed 2 errors, 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Let's take a timeout, and we'll be back for the top of the 7th on the Freed-Hardeman Sports Network.
Casey Realtors has been serving families in Chester County since June of 1967, when Tommy Casey, owner and broker, started the business in an office on North Church Street in Henderson. Craig Casey joined the business as an affiliate broker and began serving his hometown in December 1979. Though the staff and services have grown over the past 50 years, one thing has remained the same. Casey Realtors has remained committed to improving Chester County through professional service and community involvement.
Chase Animal Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital which performs well and sick patient exams, hospitalization, surgery, boarding, doggy daycare, and grooming. We are located in Huntsville, Alabama, the Rocket City. We can take care of all dogs and cats as well as some livestock animals. Our current veterinarians on staff are Kevin Crabb, Zach Knight, Elizabeth Harville, and Wesley Clendenin. Visit our website at chaseanimalhospital.com or check us out on Facebook. We look forward to taking care of all your pet's needs.
And to start the top of the 7th, a new pitcher, the lefty, Drew Robertson. He bats left, throws left. His parents are Andrew and Heather Robertson from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And, of course, his favorite sports and teams are baseball, the Cubs, and in football, the Tennessee Titans. Loves to hunt and fish. Played for Josh Carman there at Hendersonville. I believe that's the high school he went to. And he hit a walk-off home run on opening day of his first at bat as a line.
That was truly remarkable right there.
Look at the young ladies. There's our fans right there, and they do such a great job of cheering this team on.
We got a lot of people in attendance now, and of course, not as packed as it was on senior night, but it's still pretty packed. I wonder if there'll be any adjustments made to the seating as far as how much capacity we can hold next season.
No, I think you'll be back to where full capacity. Yeah, they'll let
just overall capacity.
This one hit deep, going back to the left fielder, Kimbrough, and he doesn't get this one, so a home run, and that was Noah Helton. Helton's had a pretty good day. I've got him at 3 for 4.
Yeah, that's what I got him at too. That is now, well, I put it on the wrong person right there.
Makes the score 18-3. 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error by the Pikeville team. We have 18 runs on 14 hits and 2 errors. Brings up Tyler Freeze, the center fielder. And there's a strike. He's 0 for 2. He's been hit with a pitch. Drew Robertson on to finish this game. Strike 2. A crafty left-handed pitcher. Foul tip, so still hanging in there.
Look like you got the umpire on there.
That one, and a very nice gesture. Bo checks on him. The umpires, in this series have been very good, and that one hurt. Give him a little time to walk off. I know sometimes I've seen third base coaches call time and talk to their hitter, and the umpire, he's shaking it off very good. The first base umpire was going to come and down and check on his comrade, but tough man behind the plate.
I believe that's Nate Lewis there at catcher right now, Coach.
And, yeah, that is Nathan. You're right. You know, with the straps on the back, I did not see the numbers, and I forgot that Bo was taken out a while ago. Nathan does a great job catching, too. And swinging, strike 3. And as far as the trifecta, 3 strikeouts and a hit batsman for Freeze, and I know that young man didn't want to strike out 3 times in a contest.
I don't believe anybody does, Coach, but unfortunately, now in college baseball, it just happens.
Yeah, there's one that kind of snuck in. That's kind of a version of the backdoor curveball, and it did backdoor in there. Nice pitch for a strike. Second one, and working quick. I like the way Drew Robertson works. He's quick. That, you know, in softball, one of the great things I wish we could get into baseball is those pitchers in softball are ready. They get it back, and they are ready to rock and roll. And they change pitches. Don't say they throw fastballs all the time, because that's not true. You'll see a variety of pitches. Here's one comes off the end of the bat for strike 2. They throw rise balls. They got the straight fastball. They got changes. They got curves. And I know a few pitchers that can throw the Scroogey too. And they are very good at it. You know, you can win a lot of games. You just got a fastball and a rise ball. But the more you got, the better you are as a pitcher. And that one high for a ball. 1-2 the count with 1 out. Here on a beautiful day. That one outside, and I know that Drew would love to have that one back. The release point was a little far outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Freed-Hardeman with an 18-3 lead. We are in the top of the 7th. And the pitch drilled out into right field. Let's see if it'll hang up long enough, and it does, for the right fielder to field that one, and that is Mason Holden in right field. So 2 outs in the inning. And it brings up, supposed to be Braxton Ratliff. When we check that, it is number 10, the third baseman, Ratliff, who has singled his last 2 times up. He is 2 for 3 on the day. You know, this is a good young Pikeville team. They haven't given up, but they met a very good Freed-Hardeman team in these last 2 games.
That's right.
First pitch, a strike. And we are getting, even though he gave up the home run, once he has settled down, just some very good pitching from Drew Robertson. That one's going to be high for a ball.
1-1 count.
Yeah.
Now. This really anybody's at bat right here, Coach.
Here's the pitch. That one almost got there, a little low, so it makes it 2 balls, 1 strike. You see Old Glory out there blowing inward. So the winds are blowing in now. And here is the 2-1 pitch. Swinging strike 2. And, of course, one of the things that impresses me, whether it's the prayer, the national anthem, all of our young people, our people in the stands, what impressive sight to see them honoring both the prayer and the national anthem. There is a pitch, runs the count to 3-2. Makes you proud just to come down to Freed-Hardeman University. Great campus just to take a walk on, too. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, foul. Let's see, and the coach will have to give both of them. If we were scoring it at error, our third baseman, Sanders, gets it. Of course, he tried a fancy flip catch. And the third base coach, he give him credit, though. He made an effort at it. Swinging strike 3. There was 1 hit, 1 run. And then the next 3 batters, 3 up, 3 down. That is going to end the game 18-3. And Freed-Hardeman goes to Bowling Green. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll talk about that. Hopefully we'll have Coach Jonathan Estes, but, of course, he needs to congratulate his team, which he will do, and talk to them. And we may have a player of the game. But while we're waiting, Freed-Hardeman takes 2 straight from Pikeville. 18-3 is the score of the second game. The winning pitcher was Colton Hunt, who started this contest. We'll be back with more on the Freed-Hardeman Network after this.
Residential or commercial, you can rely on West 10 Fence for complete fencing services. We put over 50 years of experience to work for you building, mending, and maintaining fences and gates. From chain link and barbed wire to wooden, vinyl, ornamental iron, and beautiful wrought iron, whether you want a fence for beauty, privacy, or security, we've got you covered. Just call and ask for a free estimate.
If you want to invest in cabinetry and need a locally owned and operated company you can trust, choose Kitchens by Design. In business since 2002, our locally owned and operated company has a track record of providing precision work, serving both residential and commercial clients. We're your one-stop shop providing quality work for all types of projects, including kitchens, bathrooms, additions, new construction, and more. For more information on how we can service your needs, contact us today.
My name is Clay Leonard. I preach Christ in Paris, Kentucky, and I'm a student in the Graduate School of Theology at Freed-Hardeman. I think the quality of scholarship at Freed-Hardeman, as well as the camaraderie that is shared between the students and the professors, sets Freed-Hardeman apart. I'm already using my degree in so many ways as I preach, and I hope that it will continue to challenge me to be the best student that I can and the best preacher that I can.
And we are back. I have a very special guest, the hard-working athletic director, Mike McCutcheon. Mike, a special year. We've had a lot of good teams. Our softball and baseball teams are going to Kentucky to play both sports.
Right. They'll both be in Bowling Green, and both are playing well. And I hope we can just carry on this momentum into Bowling Green.
And we're ready. We'd love a trip in the men's case to the World Series. Women are very capable also.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've had the women went undefeated
at home. Yeah, that's a very unusual. 22-0, I believe.
Yep. So.
And Mike, things are growing here at Freed-Hardeman. Yesterday we revealed that the baseball field will get turf for next year.
Right.
And I know there's other things. We just finished the intramural, some improvements over here. What else is happening at Freed-Hardeman?
Well, we're working on a lot of improvements to the facilities and things. We're going to be working on both softball and baseball on their drainage, trying to improve the drainage on those fields so we can, these wet springs get a little difficult. Of course, with the turf here and then with improving drainage, hopefully we'll be able to do more. And of course, soccer in the fall, sometimes they get in trouble with rain and wet fields, so hopefully we'll be able to improve those as well.
Mike, what's the secret of one of the smoothest running athletic departments, but you manage every year to bring in, you think you got the classiest and best athletes, y'all even outstrip yourself. You bring in scholarly, classy young men and young women that are successful in life.
Well, our coaches, I think they understand the mission of the university and what we need here, the kind of kids we need. We need high achievers on and off the field or the court. We want kids that are high character kids, and we've been blessed to have that over the years. We have, coaches are knuckleheads every once in a while, but as long as the players are okay,
Well, you got some good coaches. Mike, anything you want to say to all of the loyal Freed-Hardeman fans that watch our sports network?
Well, first I want to thank Worthy Road. You all have done a great job. I think it's really added to our program. I will actually slip off to the office sometime and watch the live stream just so I can hear what's going on and actually see what's going on a little better.
Oh, the great pictures, but we use multiple cameras.
Yeah.
Most universities don't use multiple cameras.
Right. And it's it's very impressive. It's been great. But our fans have been great, very supportive. But our student athletes, they have been through a year that I hope we never have this type of year again. They've been able to adapt and make the best of a difficult situation, and we're just really proud. And I think we're coming out of that, and I'm looking forward to that. But just a great bunch of student athletes, and we're proud of every one of them.
Well, it's a great place, not only the athletic department. And what's nice now, official pictures plus other pictures being taken of a set of fine young men. The ladies went through this yesterday.
Right. Yeah, it means a lot to get to, just to get to the tournament site. And, I believe these guys' potential is the sky's the limit as far as what both teams can do. And looking forward to seeing what happens.
Before we take our time out, and we're hoping that Coach Estes, he was very kind yesterday and went through, we got a lot of things. We're going to make you promise in front of the fans now. We'll come back with you in basketball next year. We're going to make you do some color in baseball next year.
Why not?
That might as well.
Not? I can mumble my way through anything, so I'll be
And
okay.
Ray Pack said you have to come do a softball game too.
I don't know. Ray won't let you get a word in, so I don't know about him now.
You got to be quick to get a word in. Our fine athletic director, sometime if you just got a chance, go by and just visit this young man. He is articulate. He's smart. He's fun to be around and a good Christian man.
Well, if they come by, tell them to bring money. Bring
money.
Cash.
Bring cash. There he is. We're going to take a short time out, and when we come back, we'll have some statistics for you, and we will also hopefully have some great interviews on the Freed-Hardeman Sports Network.
Casey Realtors has been serving families in Chester County since June of 1967, when Tommy Casey, owner and broker, started the business in an office on North Church Street in Henderson. Craig Casey joined the business as an affiliate broker and began serving his hometown in December 1979. Though the staff and services have grown over the past 50 years, one thing has remained the same. Casey Realtors has remained committed to improving Chester County through professional service and community involvement.
Chase Animal Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital which performs well and sick patient exams, hospitalization, surgery, boarding, doggy daycare, and grooming. We are located in Huntsville, Alabama, the Rocket City. We can take care of all dogs and cats as well as some livestock animals. Our current veterinarians on staff are Kevin Crabb, Zach Knight, Elizabeth Harville, and Wesley Clendenin. Visit our website at chaseanimalhospital.com or check us out on Facebook. We look forward to taking care of all your pet's needs.
We want to thank our great sponsors for getting Freed-Hardeman baseball and softball on and being part of all of this. Here are some quick highlights from Michael Mullenix, our great color man, and then we are going to have a very, very good interview in just a moment. You will love this young man. He'll be here to talk with us a little bit. But, Michael, what are some of the highlights?
Well, for Pikeville was highlighted today by Noah Helton. Noah Helton went 3 for 4 with a home run. Drove in, I believe, all 3 runs that Pikeville had today. And for Freed-Hardeman, Will McCall had 2 hits. Sears had a big home run there in the first inning. Simpson had 3 hits. Watson with a hit. Pisano was able to score. Busby as well was able to score. And Perks with a couple of hits and Beecham with a hit. And then who led it all today, I believe, was 6 total RBIs. And this is someone you'll get to hear from here in a minute. Zach Sanders really led the way here for Freed-Hardeman. Was able to score 5 times today off of first a walk that scored off of a Josh Shears home run, and then a big grand slam home run there in the first inning. Just to top it all, that 8-run inning. Then had a double in the third, a single in the third, a double in the fourth, and then a single in the sixth. 4 for 4 today, 6 RBIs. Just really topped it all here for Freed-Hardeman. You got to give the player of the game today to Zach Sanders.
And absolutely. Zach, if you'll come on down here, he was patiently waiting. We got behind. He and Michael will switch, and hopefully and, Michael, we might get you to check and see if Coach Estes wants to come on or has time to today. Zach, first of all, a tremendous effort, 4 for 4, 6 RBI. Is that your high ever at any level of baseball?
I'm pretty sure it is, yes, sir.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, all you needed was a triple to have the hit for the cycle.
Yes, sir, that's right.
And a great job by you. Let's back up and talk about you and your team. And let me adjust that for you, because that's each person wears their headset at a different level. And, Gary, what about this team? How come we've had some times, we're like a MASH unit. We've had so many injuries. We weren't exactly focused. But these last 2 games, y'all came out here with all business focus. Look, what happened to get that?
I think just knowing that it's survive and advance at this point. We came together as a team this weekend. It was real big to have Will McCall back. He's one of those players you love having your lineup. He can make anything happen at any given time. And it's just – good thing we got him back. He really helps us as a team.
Got to ask you this. You said something about loving having Will McCall back. With the injuries and all the things, y'all are as close-knit a unit as I have ever seen in any sport. What's the secret to that?
We all hang out even after practice. Like, most teams just see each other at practice. Like, we're all always hanging out. We think that it's a good way to build good team chemistry, and at this point in the playoffs, team chemistry is what helps you win games, relying on your teammates and things like that. So we try to focus a lot on having good chemistry.
And before we talk about some individual stuff, got to know about this. Is Alex Huey really the best cornhole player on the entire team?
He's one of the best for sure. I've played him quite a few times, and he doesn't miss the board very often. He either makes them or it stays on.
He really does it. Now, Zach, let's talk about you. 4 for 4. Were you seeing a beach ball come up there to you? Sometimes it looks like an aspirin tablet coming. Sometimes beach ball. Did you have the beach ball look at the ball today?
I did. Even on that first inning when I walked, I felt like I was seeing the ball really well, and I saw it really well today during BP2, and I was excited.
Well, now you've added a dimension to your game. These teams, when we go to Bowling Green to play, you got to watch out for home run hitter, as Zach said. Now, what's the secret of these last 2 home runs?
Just swinging hard, catching the ball out front of the plate. We like to say party out front. That's what we like to say.
I like it. I'm going to have to steal that phrase and stuff. Yeah. Tell them who your parents are, because they've got to be special people to have a nice young man like you as son.
My dad is John Sanders, mom's Alice Sanders, and my stepdad's David Prentice.
Okay, some fine people, and I know you're very proud. Were they able to come today?
They were here yesterday, but my sister had a travel basketball game today, so they were all there watching her.
I know about that, being an old basketball coach.
Right.
But guess what? They can catch your performance, and you may want to tape it off there too.
Right.
It will be archived on YouTube under Worthy Road Studios today, so you can go back and see yourself, including I have a friend that calls them grand salamis, but the grand slam home run. And that had to be – is that one of the more exciting moments in your career?
Yeah, it's up there. I would say definitely winning opening round in 2019 was probably my favorite moment here, but that's up there for the individual part.
Absolutely. And, of course, since we talked about Alex Huey for a minute and his cornhole prowess, Josh Sears any good at rock, paper, and scissors?
No, he's absolutely the worst rock, paper, scissors player I've ever seen.
And I understand, though, you're pretty good. Some of your teammates have bragged on you.
I don't know if I'm good or if Josh just terrible. I don't know, but I'm decent.
Now, kinesiology and special education. You picked out 2 of the toughest but rewarding majors to have. What's the story behind that?
I love working with kids. That's why I wanted to go into education, and I love working with kids with special needs. That's why I chose special ed, and for kinesiology, I wanted to learn a lot more about the body since I want to coach as well, so I can better prepare my players when I'm coaching.
Absolutely. And I know you said you wanted to open up a baseball facility, but I see you more – I mean, you would be great at that. I see you as a teacher and coach. And, of course, a coach is really a teacher of athletics.
Right, absolutely. The baseball facility part is probably going to be further down the road because my plans are to teach once I get out of college.
And, of course, versatility shown today. You can play second, third. I bet you can play shortstop. But your buddy Dylan Lott's at shortstop right now.
He did really well today there. But, I can wherever he wants to put me, I can try to play it.
Okay. What are you looking for as the season winds down? Obviously, the trip to the NAIA, but what do we got to accomplish first?
Got to take care of business in Bowling Green. Got to got to come out and do what we've been doing the past 2 days. Just keep it up.
And how long have you been playing baseball? I forgot to ask you that. And name a couple of your coaches that have influenced you if you want to.
18 years, how long I've been playing baseball. High school coach John Birdie, he really helped me out a lot. And my dad's coached me a lot growing up, and he helped me out a ton. Wouldn't be here without him. Yeah.
Now, you're playing for some fun fellas here, too. I
love
love talking to Coach Esther, but the assistant coaches, too, they are fun people.
Yeah, it is. It's a real fun environment.
And it's a good experience. Yeah. And hopefully now it's your turn as we end interviews. As you know, it's your turn to say anything to not only the Freed-Hardeman fans, but we've picked up people from other schools that are now watching this. So it's your turn to say anything you want to.
I don't know, but really appreciate all the support you guys are giving us. It means a lot, and it definitely doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you very much.
Well, we thank you, and we enjoy it. We can't go to the tournament. We'd love to go because y'all have a high winning percentage when we're here, a very high one. And we would love to go with you, but we're going to be back to support Freed-Hardeman. But this season's not over, and we're going to keep up. Folks, you can get it on DAC Stats. I'm sure at the tournament they'll have one of those broad cameras. Now, do you like watching y'all play, though, with the 5 or 6 different cameras we use?
I loved it. I almost mentioned it earlier. Since my parents couldn't be here today, they were a little upset that they couldn't see it in person, but with the live stream, they're like, it's basically like just being here.
Oh, so it really is.
They love it.
And you can watch it on your iPhone. That's a good thing. Or if you have a Samsung, we better give them a little credit. Great year, and what a performance today. And having been an old baseball player, the hustle, the effort you get, and you got an extra gear that I didn't know you had. You're fast. This young man is faster than he even looks sometimes. You can throw it into that extra gear, can't you?
Yeah, when I need to, I can, but I don't show it too much.
Oh, you don't show it too much. Folks, we've been talking with Zach Sanders, the fine second baseman, part-time third baseman. He did a good job at third today. They moved Will over and got him some work at first. But he's a leader, a hustler, and right now he's a power hitter for the Freed-Hardeman Lions. Zach, thank you for coming up and being part of the post-game show.
Thanks for having me.
There he is. Let's take a short time out, and when we come back, the man with the plan is sitting over there. Coach Estes will be back with more on this network.
Residential or commercial, you can rely on West 10 Fence for complete fencing services. We put over 50 years of experience to work for you building, mending, and maintaining fences and gates. From chain link and barbed wire to wooden, vinyl, ornamental iron, and beautiful wrought iron, whether you want a fence for beauty, privacy, or security, we've got you covered. Just call and ask for a free estimate.
If you want to invest in cabinetry and need a locally owned and operated company you can trust, choose Kitchens by Design. In business since 2002, our locally owned and operated company has a track record of providing precision work, serving both residential and commercial clients. We're your one-stop shop providing quality work for all types of projects, including kitchens, bathrooms, additions, new construction, and more. For more information on how we can service your needs, contact us today.
And we are back with, I'm going to say this, right now maybe the most focused team in the country. The fine head coach, Jonathan Estes, is here. And, Coach, what's the secret? I mean, you've played hard, and your kids, even when y'all were hurt, when you had some injuries, the kids played hard, and they had their minds on the game. But the focus has really increased, and you took a good young team and never gave them a chance with y'all's focus.
You know, it's something that we've been talking about all year. We've had such a veteran, experienced group. You know, a lot of these guys, I won't say all of them, but a lot of these guys played in the World Series in 2018. We went to the national championship game. The ones that didn't play in 2018, a lot of those guys played in 2019. Dom and Busby and Zach and Will and Huey and all these guys. And, had a great year last year. And we just knew that we had an experienced group of guys this year. We had a few new guys that, Vaughn and Dejard and Colton and a couple of new guys this year that we're going to figure into the mix. But we knew that we had an experienced group, and we've just kept at it. We've, like you said, we've had injuries and we've had our ups and downs, but we've tried to stay consistent. We've tried to show that consistency as a coaching staff and practice, and try not to make anything too high or too low, or we don't talk about big games because every game's big. So I think what we saw this weekend was our guys just came out and things clicked for us, and we took advantage. Like you said, they're a young team and we're experienced, and we did exactly what we needed to do and put a lot of pressure on them offensively from the get-go. Yesterday we scored 4 in the first. Today we scored 8 in the first. So, I mean, anytime that you come out and you start the game off that way, it's hard to respond. We talked about that. Let's go out there and punch them in the nose right off the bat and see what happens. And it proved to be good for us today.
It really was, because they have some resiliency, because I checked on some of their games, but I knew very well when y'all put the punch out, it was over. I know they got the home run, and you know what? Actually, Drew pitched well after that one pitch. He mowed them down. And today, a couple of things, and we'll talk about some individuals, and then folks want us to talk about the tournament, which we really helped ourselves today. Well, we won, and we were going to be the number 2 seed, but you got to get there to get the number 2 seed the way it's set up. But you got to work your pitchers out today, and that's very important, because sometimes – when we have those good, I believe, the 7-inning game at at Martin Methodist, until I go back and forth between the high school. Colton pitched, or not Colton, but Alex pitched a complete game, 1-0. And you don't always get to work your bullpen out. You got some good innings today from some people.
Yeah, when I took Jack out, Jack threw really, really well for 2 innings.
Yeah.
He came in here and got some swing and misses, and we talked about it last night. Jack's been really good for us lately. But, when I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to take you out at 16-2, and, guy's pitching well, and he's like, hey, I want to stay in there. I was like, yeah, we got some other guys down here that need to get some work in. We're when you play a tournament situation, like I just told them at the end, you're not playing a series of 3 games, or you're not trying to win 2 out of 3. You might have to play, 5, 6 games, in order to get to where you need to get. So at some point, it's just you're out there fighting and clawing, and you need guys to come in and give you big innings, and you need guys to extend themselves. So, it was good for us today to be able to get, Jack a couple innings. Good for us to be able to get Rob out there and get in the mound and get Drew, and hopefully these guys get a little tune up. And the guys that didn't get in the game, we'll get them a bullpen today or tomorrow, and early in the week, get some work so that we're ready to go come next weekend, because you can't get through a tournament without having to utilize your pitching staff, unless you just win. You go complete game, starting pitcher, you get in the championship game. That just doesn't happen very often. So we wanted to be firing on all cylinders, so it was good to get those guys an opportunity. And then also getting up, so many runs, we're able to use, we're able to use our entire bench today with the 25-man roster. We used every single sub, that we had on our 25-man roster today. Got everybody in at bat except for Brady, and Brady's been getting a lot of at bats, but he goes in there and courtesy runs for Nate. So it was just good. It felt good. It was fun. Today's the last time, that we're ever going to play at Carnes Field. Next year we're going to have a new name and a new field, and that was. For a guy like myself who's been here for 12 years, and J.D. Flowers, who's standing out there on the field right now, who took care of this field for 10 or 11 years, it was kind of sentimental, and don't want to say it was sad, but just reflecting back on that time and being able to play out here on this field, it was special to be able to come out and play the way that we did and have a lot of fun.
Well, the craziest text-in question I got, and I get some good ones, I get some crazy ones. Are you going to sell pieces of the turf to this field or give them away? That's an interesting question, because it's all got to go.
Yeah, they're the bulldozers and things will be in here the 17th, and they're gonna take it and put it somewhere. So
they will literally skin more than the infield.
Yeah, I think they said about 300 dump truck loads or 200. I mean, they're gonna take a lot of stuff out and then put a lot of stuff in. So. I'm not sure where they're going to put it, but a couple weeks from now, this won't look the same.
Of course, the AstroTurf help, and Mike McCutcheon was on earlier. He seemed very proud of what's going to be done this thing. Said it's going to improve the drainage too, and that's been a problem at times too, because we have a rainy springs here in West Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, we're with artificial turf, you don't have to really worry about the weather.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a quarter inch of rain as soon as it stops raining. We go out there and get on the field. Even this morning playing a noon game, and it's sunny and everything. There was a lot of dew on the ground this morning, and those I'm throwing batting practice. Those balls are coming back wet, and we're having to dry them out, after BP and things like that. Just a lot of things you don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about anymore at home. We got to worry about lightning still, but we don't have to worry about rain and don't have to worry about that dew, and we'll be able to get out there on the field when we need to get out there, which is big, and we're excited about that.
One more fun question about the field situation: are you going to miss going to Corinth to play some games? You hadn't had to do that often, but on occasion you've had to go down.
Yeah,
there.
I'm not going to miss it. I like when we're scheduled to play at home. I like being here, and seeing our fans and. Not having to drive down there. It's go into my office and walk out of my office. It's when you're at home, you want to play at home. So,
yes. Two people we've got to say something about. And actually, if you look at the DAC stats, if you look at the way the game was played, we could talk and say something nice about every one of these young men today. But first of all, Zach Sanders, all he lacked was a triple having the cycle today, and. Our man, I like to talk about him because you helped me. He was our first non-basketball interview over at a basketball game, and he did such a good job. He now holds the record, and he's passed some good people. He's passed Jim Carter. He's passed Brian Bullard, who coaches at Jackson Christian, and there are others on that home run list. And he's going to walk out of here with a great – he's got season records. He's got that. But you know what? There's more to him, and – he is not blessed with great speed, and I hope he doesn't get offended by me saying, but you know what? Nobody on your team runs any harder around the bases. And he is 2 for 2 on stolen bases this year. But you talk about the young men you want to talk about because we had a great effort today.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Zach, whenever you're getting the production, I mean, you can't do any better. Walk, home run, double, single. You can't get any better production from that out of your leadoff spot. When you've got Will, McCall, Josh Sears, Bo Simpson, who I think's got a great chance of being, a first-team all-conference catcher. When you got those three guys and Von Watson, when you got those guys hitting behind you, if you can get on base, you're going to score a lot of runs and you're gonna put a lot of pressure. Pitchers, and I can say this from experience, pitchers don't like pitching out the stretch when they're facing 2, 3, 4. They like pitching out of the windup, and I can bounce a curveball in the dirt or whatever. You can't do that when you got a runner on first base. And Zach's over there being aggressive at first, and he hasn't been racking up the stolen base totals that maybe you expect out of the leadoff, but he's over there putting pressure on the pitcher, and he's getting our middle of the order guys good pitches to hit. So, moving forward, for us to be successful at the conference tournament, we want I'm not going to be greedy and say I want him to go 4 for 4 with a walk every single game and a grand slam. That would be greedy. But if he can get on base, a couple times every game ahead of Will and Josh and those guys, we got a chance to be successful. And like you said, I mean, Josh just, I wanted to try to, have a chance for him to come off the field and for the fans to honor him. What he's been able to do in his career has just been, phenomenal. He's a 2-time first-team All-American and Conference Player of the Year, and he's putting up even better numbers this year than he has those first 2 numbers. I think the last couple years he was at about 16 home runs going in the conference tournament, and he's at 21 I think going in the conference tournament this year, a few less games. So
380 plus batting average. It was at 387. I believe he had the strikeout, and then on a interesting pitch is how I describe them when I don't want to say more than that about it. That was an interesting pitch.
Yeah, when we had our all-conference meeting Zoom call the other day for all-conference, I looked at some of his numbers, and when you compare conference-only stats, he had the best slugging percentage in the conference by over 100 points, I believe. He had the best on-base percentage in the conference and conference-only games by almost 100 points. I mean, he's having such a good year, and then the second person below that, when you look at just conference games only, he's doing so well, and just the career he's had, I wanted to try to honor him. So I'm really proud of him. But we had a lot of seniors out there today. It was their last time playing at Carnes, and Dylan makes a great highlight. I'll have fun going back and watching that on the feed later, that diving play at shortstop. And Jack goes up there and has 2 quality innings. Bo does a really great job. Dom and Busby. I mean, we just had a lot of guys who were having a lot of fun out there and doing really well. So that was couldn't think of any better way to close out our home season this year in front of the home fans.
Absolutely, and I'll remind people they can go back and pick it up on stretch on y'all's. But here's the catch: that game will eventually go away because next year, this game today will be archived forever on YouTube under Worthy Road Studios. People, you can go back and hear Coach Estes. You can go back and watch Lott's fine grab, and I had almost thought he wasn't good, and he got there anyway. The kid gave all he had. That's heart. And you can see the honoring of Josh Sears, the announcement from up here, and the different things like that. Those games are around forever if you go. And, again, it's YouTube, and then you go to Worthy Road Studios, and every Freed-Hardeman game we've done this year is archived for the rest of these young men's lives. And they go back, and they can tell people that's what they did. This is a special university. They've allowed us to do some things that other schools, there are even big NCAA, and the NCAA likes to hover over us. We got just as good of players as they do. They may have a few more because of their scholarship situation. They may have a few less. I don't know. But this university has had the wisdom to do things. Your baseball program does a lot of special things, and you have nothing but good quality athletes here. Now, we got to ask about this on-base percentage. Batting average is important, but that on-base percentage, how is important it is in your coaching staff style?
Well, just the most important thing is getting on base.
Yeah.
I think that's a better indicator of a guy, because you got some guys who go out there and they walk a lot, and we've had guys in our program over the years who their batting average might not be as high, but they get on base, and when you get on base, you make things happen, and so that's something that's really important. So we look at a lot of different things. That's always been important. I know baseball, they care about batting average, but there's a lot of other numbers that we look at and that are important for us.
A lot of more important. Now, let's get down to what the people really want to hear. They want to know where we stand in the tournament. Do we know who our first-round opponent will be? And actually, it's not first round. We won't play before the third round, if I interpret this right, because we get a bye now by winning this series, and we'll let you explain how the tournament – because this is not the normal way the tournament usually works.
Yeah, so I guess they're counting this series right here as the first round.
First round.
When we go up to Bowling Green, we'll be the 2 seed. University of the Cumberlands, by way of winning the regular season, will be the 1 seed. We'll be the 2, and then depending on how the rest of these series finish up today, I was looking a minute ago, and it doesn't look like any of the other series have finished except Bethel.
They won.
Yeah. They won both games yesterday, so. Once all those series are over, they'll reseed. So we'll figure out who 3, 4, 5, and 6 are. So we'll play. We won't play the first day. Thursday they'll have 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. They'll play on Thursday, and then we'll play on Friday against the winner of 3 versus 6. So
saves us on the pitching.
Saves us on the
pitching.
The
other thing, we want to stay out of the losers bracket.
Yeah. We need to win that first game. That first game is important because if you win that first game, you bypass about 3 games in the losers bracket, to be able to, get to where we need to get. And, one thing that is special about our conference, the regular season champion does not get an automatic qualifier to the national tournament. The conference champion and then the conference tournament runner-up. So the 2 teams that get to the championship game of that tournament will move on to the opening round. And we obviously want to win that tournament, but if we get to that championship game, we're going to have an opportunity to play, the national tournament. So that's something that we're trying to put our eyes on and get there.
Absolutely. And, of course, anything you want to say, we've had a great regular season, 2 great first-round playoff games, but anything you want to say about these young men, the team right now, let's go ahead and tell the folks. And that was a suggested question. They wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
No, it's been a good team, and somebody made a comment the other day that the adversity that this team has had to go through this year with some of the injuries, early in the year with us having to travel so much. I mean, we had we had 3 weeks in a row where we went to LSU Shreveport, we went to Georgia Gwinnett, we went to New Orleans 3 weekends in a row, and then the next weekend we had to go to Shawnee State, and then going down to Southeastern. We were on the road a lot. There was a lot of adversity there with the injuries, with some things that have gone on with our pitching staff and losing some close games and things like that. From a wins and loss standpoint, the season hasn't gone the way that a lot of people had envisioned it, but we've gone through a lot of adversity, and I think that going through a lot of that stuff is going to prepare us well from here on out. And even if it doesn't manifest itself on the field these next couple weeks, we've got a lot of young men who are great young men, and you've said it every time these guys have come up here and talk, and that's what I'm most proud about. And I tell these guys all the time, like winning baseball games is important, but we're really concerned and interested in these guys developing as young men into adults, and we've got such a great group of guys, and I'm really excited. Mason Holden's talking about applying at the Jackson police department and going through police academy up there and asked if I'd be a reference for him, and it's just I have these conversations on a daily basis with these guys, and this is a great group of guys and a great group of parents. I mean, I've been very fortunate to have very good parents that have been very supportive of our program over the years. But we've got just such a special group of parents as well. Bo's parents have traveled everywhere we've been, and Dom's parents. I mean, we just got on down the list of people who have traveled. Clay Wagner and Austin and Jacob Sawyers and Connor Creasy, and I sit here and name all of them. I'll miss somebody, but I mean, we just have such great fan and parental support, and I'm just very fortunate. It's something I'm very thankful for, and the coaches have worked extremely hard. The assistant coaches and GAs and volunteers, and everybody's worked so hard, this year, and the players have come out here and gotten after it and worked super hard. So I mean, as a head coach, just have so much to be thankful for with such a great group of guys and parents, and we're excited to be able to continue playing, and but at the end of the day, I think this is a great group of guys that are going to do some really big things 5, 10, 15 years down the road.
What I'm hearing from you is something that I think I know, but I hope everybody listens to. Freed-Hardeman is a great place for students, for teachers, and for coaches to be.
Yeah, I mean, there's not anywhere else I'd rather be. It's a great place where you can impact people. I love coaching. I love being out here around the game, but my mission is to try to impact people. Whether that be on the baseball field or in the classroom or at Walmart. That's I see that as my mission is to try to bring people closer to God and to try to show Christ's love in the way that we interact, and hopefully I can do that out on the field. But it's just so much fun to be able to interact with these guys and on the road and on the bus and in the hotels, and it's a great sometimes winning and losing makes your emotions go up and down because you love to win, and sometimes you're frustrated when you don't. But at the end of the day, just what a great opportunity it is to be around these people and these young men and their families, and let them have an impact on our lives, and hopefully we have an impact on their lives for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Absolutely. Great job. Any final comments you got before we take our last break to all the loyal fans? But there's more than just loyal fans watching these broadcasts.
Yeah, just, anybody that's watching, feel free to reach out, email, phone. You want to come by the field. Just we want the Freed-Hardeman baseball family to be a place where, you feel free to come to the field and follow us on Twitter and, follow us on Facebook, and just interact and, come to the games and come over and say hi. And we just love that. So love the fans, love the Freed-Hardeman family, and looking forward to, having a good week next week in Bowling Green, and looking forward to seeing you guys back out here next year.
Oh, we're looking forward. I'm ready to do baseball again already. Had fun. Gonna make you promise you're coming by basketball and talk during basketball season next year. And then, like I said, I got to give Josh credit. He got after you talked the first time. Thought I was trying to get you the second time to come back because Josh did a great job. And then all the young men you've sent up here have been super, and they've made it fun for me. Made me actually get younger again.
Well, that's
and I'm
good.
an old man. And I know that there are recruits. Oh, we forgot to talk. That's my fault. Fans, apologize. Because I do his games too. You have a young man coming in here who can hit, he can run, he can bunt. His name is Avery Bradford from Jackson Christian. I know you're looking forward to having him come in and play.
Yeah, we've had good success with guys from Jackson Christian. You know, we've got 2 guys in our program right now, Graham Scott and Chris Goodrich, and Ethan Mayberry, who came through our program several years ago. So Avery's just another one of those good lineage of players, and Coach McLean does a great job up there at JCS, and Coach Cooper before him. So we know that he's going to be well coached, and he can really run, and we're excited about getting him on campus and getting to work with these guys in the fall. He
dropped one of the prettiest bunts the other day that just died. The third baseman couldn't get there. The pitcher couldn't get there. And he was actually trying to sacrifice. He, of course, as fast as he is, he legged it out for a hit and did a great job. And you're right. Chase McLean, got to say something about him because Coach Cooper did. He played on Jackson Christian's first state championship team, and then he was an assistant coach on their second TSSAA championship team. And great camaraderie between Freed-Hardeman University and Jackson Christian because the 2 schools do work together a whole lot on a lot of things. And, folks, you want to play for this young man, I'll go ahead and advertise for him. Wished I was younger. I would love to play for him. His players say he's a good teacher, but better than that, he's a good human being. And this would be fun if I could relive my days again. And appreciate you, Jonathan, coming by. We're going to take our last time out, come back and wrap this broadcast up after this on the Freed-Hardeman Sports Network.
My name is Clay Leonard. I preach for the Church of Christ in Paris, Kentucky, and I'm a student in the Graduate School of Theology at Freed-Hardeman. I think the quality of scholarship at Freed-Hardeman, as well as the camaraderie that is shared between the students and the professors, sets Freed-Hardeman apart. I'm already using my degree in so many ways as I preach, and I hope that it will continue to challenge me to be the best student that I can and the best preacher that I can. My name is Clay Leonard. I preach for the Church of Christ in Paris, Kentucky, and I'm a student in the Graduate School of Theology at Freed-Hardeman. I think the quality of scholarship at Freed-Hardeman, as well as the camaraderie that is shared between the students and the professors, sets Freed-Hardeman apart. I'm already using my degree in so many ways as I preach, and I hope that it will continue to challenge me to be the best student that I can and the best preacher that I can.
And we are back on the last broadcast of the year. We have enjoyed it. I know the post-game show went a little longer, but I got some of your questions that you sent in to me to ask Coach Estes in, and we're going to give the next to last word to our tremendous color man, who I'm going to make right here on camera where it's recorded, promise that he will come back and work again next year.
I will definitely do my best to be back here next year, which I will still be at Freed in the fall, with no question. It's been a great season here for Freed-Hardeman in all sports. It's been baseball, softball, basketball, both men and women, and just overall the athletics this year have been just overall amazing and have responded well not only to a lot of coaching changes, to the COVID-19 pandemic, and then the new conference that they have been in. It's just been a great overall year for Freed-Hardeman, and a great year being able to be by one of the legends himself in this booth and at the basketball games, Coach Joe Holloway.
Well, you're very kind about that. The legends are the two guys that direct that and will bring us the camera people. And without you, you make it so easy. And our good friend Ray Pack, he can jump in. And, the three of us can interchange and do all things. And folks may hear you on a little volleyball next year.
That's what I've been hearing too. We did 2 games this season. Me and Ray Pack did for volleyball. It's definitely different than basketball. I'll give it that much.
It is, and we're going to try to cover Freed-Hardeman sports. We'll do some soccer, both men's and women. We'll have all the sports next year. I want to thank Athletic Director Mike McCutcheon, the administration of Freed-Hardeman University. Each one of these coaches, folks, if you don't know them, you get to know them. They're special people. And, of course, we will tell you right now, I'm not going to make a final statement except because I don't want the year to end. But go Lions. Both Lady Lions and them are advancing in the softball. Hopefully they'll make it to the World Series. We've had a good year in all sports. But we will tell you that any rebroadcast, retransmission, or further use of this contest without the express written consent of Worthy Road Studios is prohibited. I want to thank all the different people that have worked cameras. Of course, the pro at cameras is Paul Schultze, but this one was produced and directed by Paul Schultze. Assistant Director Gary Lockhart, who is to my left right now. The play-by-play announcer, Coach Joe Holloway. And, of course, one of my favorite human beings, not just as a color man, Michael Mullenix. He will be back with us next year, and it's time for us to say thanks for your time this time. Till next time, good afternoon, all.